with some fucking red hair dye to play the part
Yeah.
of Floon
Oh my
Blackmar.
god.
And
And
damn,
jawline.
do you look good? You know,
Holy
I'd
shit.
I'd I'd be in a romance novel with you.
Yeah,
Check
I'd
that
be honored.
wardrobe.
Wow.
You know, clearly
gonna-
you need to go for that open shirt, deep V look.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Yeah.
get
Those
some of
big
that
collars.
Doc
What have I
Ward
been
salt
doing?
spray in your hair. Just get a little volume in there, you know?
Oh my god. I've learned so much about myself right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
This will probably really hurt and melt your machines, but I will do this.
Oh.
Actually, it
And this is
loaded.
only one. This is only one slice of the map, though. It's the.
It loaded really fast for me.
Yeah, it's actually not so bad this time.
Okay.
It was like real fast.
You're right there, and it doesn't really say that much, but if you mouse over it, that's the Temple of Good Cheer.
Oh.
Oh hey,
Mhm.
could you actually mark? Oh, you did. Warehouse. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And where was the? It was on
Too far for
between
this map slice, I think.
Zastro Street and Filet Lane, right?
Oh yeah, where
This place was this where
Zablob?
the yeah.
Zablox is like right here.
Oh,
Hold
I
on.
thought it was over here because we went down this alley here.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh yeah, it's
Because,
right Filane and Zastro.
We started at this bar
Okay.
here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we went to Zablox
I
right
got
there.
you. Let me add it.
Mm.
Are you gonna label that shithole bar?
I will at some point. If it ends up mattering, I'll do it sooner than later.
There we go.
But right now, no.
Priorities.
Okay.
Those Kinku were pieces of shit.
Oh man.
Yum.
Fair or foul? Some might even ask.
That's foul.
There you go. Zoblob's
Wow.
on there.
That last accent sounded like Pete from the Goofy movie.
It did actually, yeah.
Nailed it.
That was good.
All right. I'm gonna wax recap mode. Essentially,
Wax it.
Wax on.
back in the yawning portal, which seems like fucking days ago. Obaya, who is this very noble seeming woman of dark skin who claims to come from an island far away called Chult. There's a very exotic kind of aura about her, and she seems very interesting and secretive. She I think called herself a priestess at one time, so she seems to be of a divine following, but seemed very interested in the arcane and the idea of this under mountain region that lives beneath the city of Waterdeep. She took an interest in all of you separately, and as you've found out, kind of brokered a job for you all in some ways with this other character who we'll get to. And she seemed very interested in you and what you could eventually do for her. But in the meantime, you got the sense that like you weren't ready for the kind of jobs she would offer. And so she took it upon herself to call you all here, where she made, or at least arranged the meeting with one Volothamp Gadam, a very eccentric and quote-unquote famous character. And Volo made it urgently clear that his dear friend Floon Blagmar, seen in tonight's poster, whether that's what he actually looks like or is painted per Volo's description of him, remains to be seen. But he made it clear that his dear friend Floon, has gone missing. And his concern for where he last saw his friend tangled up in the escalating gang violence sort of raging through that part of town where they last were was really only fueling his concern. And this was at the Skewer Dragon, which you all made your way to after drinking many drinks with the nerve-wracked Volo. But after investigating the Skewer Dragon and making a new friend in Gary, the one upper-toothed bartender, you did learn that Floon was there not only with Volo, but another friend who looked shockingly similar to him, also saying they both had basically like, rust-colored reddish hair, and both seemed very young and handsome. And Gary told you that they had left the bar pretty late, pretty drunk that night, and that 5 characters followed them out wearing dark clothing. Now, Dante, a lot of things have been sort of causing your skin to crawl since this night began up until later in the evening, and all of those things kind of tie back to the Xanathar Guild for you, like just little hints of recognition here and there. But regardless of that, you all left the Skewer Dragon and made your way past some. I can't recall if it was before or after the dragon, but made your way past some City Watch members who were very much blocking off a large thoroughfare, which would have aided your approach towards the Zoblob shop and eventually the warehouse. Some things went right, some things went wrong. You didn't really learn too much about what was going on, but it was clear to you that it was just another incident of dead bodies resulting from this Xanathar versus Zentarum blood war that was just getting worse and worse. You made your way past these guards to the old Zoblob shop, one of the only things that had any kind of illumination. It was just purple glow everywhere, and you soon learned that it was this weird gnome with a giant stuffed beholder in the window that seemed to follow you with its many gazes, who had a curiosity shop filled with endless trinkets, all somehow purplish in hue or in nature. And it was here that you bought a few souvenirs, but you eventually found the broken centerpiece amulet of LaRue, this big embossed kind of unicorn head. And it's through the finding of that and the several pearls here and there that kind of breadcrumbed their way back through some of the alleyways that you found yourself in front of a Zentarum warehouse with like the snake sigil and all kind of under the light on Candle Lane. You had a wonderfully clever approach. You gave yourself some henna tattoos, like the ones you saw in some of the others in Tarum you've encountered thus far. You remembered that Yagra from the Yawning Portal, who got into that dip fight with the Xanathar Guild members back then, was a name you could drop, and you cleverly tried to, bang on the door with the slit in it to, gain attention and sort of schmooze your way through. But unfortunately, as you found when Dante eventually burst through the door, violence had already taken place here that night, and most of the bodies littered around the room were dominantly those of the Zentarum. There were some Xanathar bodies in there, but the first thing you heard and saw were several Kenku, these crow-like avian humanoids that Dante later revealed are known to work with the Xanathar Guild. So in the Zentarum warehouse where you hope to find Floon, you found a murder of crows. You did your best to fight down these creatures who kind of got the drop on you, had some height advantage on you, and the one that was firing at you from above. And you managed to kill 2 of them, wound 1, and you don't really know about a 4th one that you thought you had heard. But you all got out of there and made your way to the closest thing you could find for sanctuary, which was the Temple of Good Cheer, where Schmidt took you, who seems to know the city incredibly well. And it's here that an older, almost cliche priest-like figure who worships Lyra offered you sanctuary. There were several other characters here, you kind of got the sense that some of like the street urchin kids who you spoke with and some of the other homeless were given sanctuary and slept here on a fairly regular basis, just based on the layout and how things were arranged. These three little urchin kids, I think Schmidt eventually kind of talked into sort of being your lookout while you watched. And
Fatty.
and yeah, it was the more little the plump kid who you noticed Dante, I don't know if maybe, or sorry, Alter, I don't know if you saw this with your kind of concussion and everything going on, but Schmidt, you probably saw this, like the boy who did offer to look out. It seemed very shy, but like when he kind of looked back at the other two friends of his who were sort of watching on, he kind of took on a brave face, and you saw he like sort of clenched this like really dirty, almost like the equivalent of like a stuffed bear, but it was a stuffed owl bear. They kind of kept it aside, and tucked into his belt was this wand-like stick. And with the way he's dressed and everything, he almost looks like he's like playing dress up as a wizard. And the other two kids, which you would have noticed either that night or throughout the night when you woke up and all that. The other two, the girl appears to be like this lanky, thin girl, and she had like a little wooden toy sword that she keeps at her side even when she was sleeping. And she kind of seems to be communicating with the other two boys with these sign language symbols, but they seem unique. Like it's almost like their own little language. And the one boy who didn't keep the watch out was like this red-skinned tiefling boy, and he has this like really just beaten down pirate hat with like a dirty, not really red anymore, quill sticking out of it. And he kind of wore an eye patch over his left eye that he never took off throughout the whole night. But true to his word, the plump little boy who appears to be doing a good job keeping watch, because as the first one of you wakes up, you see that he's like kind of dozing off, clutching his owlbear, but every now and then like looks back towards the cots where you are all sleeping. You all have had a long rest, but how long would you say it's been, roughly, hours for you all?
A solid 8.
Hard.
8.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I mean, I'd say it's probably
10.
about like 8 to 9 a.m. ish. Your choice. The next morning.
Okay.
I'm the last to awake.
It's like 8. It's 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Did that go as badly as I remember it going?
Yeah.
Oh, my hurt.
I don't think I can move. Nope.
I think it went amazing. We lived. I didn't think we were going to live.
You're very optimistic.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. We made it. I'd say we kicked their asses.
Well, we killed a couple of them, didn't we?
Did we?
I don't remember anything.
Sort of bird folk.
I don't like birds.
No. Nah, the worst.
They're really bad. Bad birds.
Some weird kind of monster. I don't know.
So, what do
Where
you
do we go
think?
from there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I think our friend who we're hunting down is probably dead. I mean, you're right. I didn't want to believe it, but yeah, no, there's no way he survived.
Who
Floon
are
is-
we
is
hunting
supposed to be
again?
dead. Floon. He's that dashing ginger with
She really-
the defined jaw and the wonderful beard.
You're talking so loud. Do you think they? I mean, maybe he's still alive. Shouldn't we at least check again? Oh, why am I saying that?
You have his medallion.
Oh, there's his beard. Okay.
I mean, yeah. Maybe he got away though, or something.
Okay, we're going to need to hire a master tracker to see if. Isn't there a? Don't wizards have the ability to to locate a person based off of like an object they possess. Maybe if they take this medallion to a wizard, they could tell us where he is.
Oh,
Is that a thing?
wizard. Interesting. A wizard. Yes, we should take it to a wizard. I have actually read about this many times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Ooh,
I've only read about it.
oh,
Ooh, what book?
I just
Do you have it?
not with me.
oh, like a wizard book.
Well, I don't want to get into. Yeah, I've read a wizard book about it. Oh, can you help me up? Can you just like stick my arm
Yeah,
out?
I help you up.
Oh God, I don't like this. Is this what we're doing
Yeah.
all the time?
Well, not all the time. No, I mean there's drinking, but job first. Then
Okay. So, job, I think we should listen. We don't need a wizard. We found the place, right? Like, there's no way those bird people are still there.
you want to go back like right now?
I mean, first we should get some breakfast. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breakfast.
Do they have breakfast here? This isn't a proper inn, by the way. We're in a
No.
temple.
Well, yeah, we're very much in a temple.
You do. It doesn't smell.
Wait, where's that
Amazing.
chubby
I
one?
walk up to the nearest man.
How did that
person
chubby one get so chubby?
that's worked there and ask for breakfast. Where's breakfast? I say to him.
You see a young man who's kind of wearing just like very simple gray robes.
Breakfast.
And you see him like as you walk up, like he's carrying like a tray with just like a bowl of gruel on it and something maybe resembling tea. He's, sure. The father feeds all who stay with us. Just please wait 10 minutes or so. And he kind of like starts trying to walk past you with the tray towards like where some of the other people who were sleeping here last night are kind of sitting up on their bedrolls essentially.
This might take too long.
I'm sure we could find a bakery or something, maybe.
Yeah. Ooh, a bakery.
Yeah. Do you know of any places around here? You seem to know your way about town.
Let's see, bakery. I don't actually.
Hmm.
This is the
Maybe-
first time I've
oh.
actually been to this temple as well.
This may sound a bit harsh. Maybe the fat kid knows where food is.
That's exactly where my mind went. Where is he? I look around for him. Is he there?
Yeah, you look around.
Boy.
And you see him kind of he's over near the redskin tiefling boy with like the pirate hat on. And he kind of like looks over and says, "Oh."
Come
He's
here.
just kind of looking at you with like sort of dumb look on his face.
Come here.
Yeah. Come here. Come on.
And he kind of walks forward, real slowly, kind of like he's got that owlbear like tucked under his hands. Says, "I watched real good.
Yeah. Did you see anybody?
Didn't see no one."
No one came by looking for us?
I mean, they not like they should. We just- yeah.
Lots of watch out last night, but
Oh.
no one bad come through.
Watch. Okay. All right. Hey, okay, so then where's the food?
Yeah. Do you know where food is?
Breakfast.
Kind of like scratching
Breakfast.
his neck a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Says we eat the porridge here every morning.
Porridge.
Hey, you know what would be great? Be to walk outside and go find it. I'm sure. we
Yeah.
can
You know
find-
what?
I'm sure-
Let's do it. Do it.
Hey, kid. Thanks for keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your name?
He kind of like before he answers that, he you notice that he's sort of staring at Alatar pretty intently, and Alatar.
Yeah.
He's kind of like eyeing you up and down. He says, you see him like take his wand out, and it's like just this crude branch. Kind of like holds up and says, Are you a wizard too? He's looking up at you.
I look at him and I pull out this small little piece of copper wire and I turn and I speak into it and I just say yes and it sounds in his head. I cast message.
He turns. He still hasn't answered Schmidt yet, but he like turns towards the redskin tiefling boy. He says, "I told you, Nat. A winner, chicken dinner. I win!" And he walks over to him, and he like picks up like you see he's got like these 3 cards that the kid's been just like shuffling back and forth, like he's almost like playing a game with himself. And the boy sort of snatches them up, which seems very out of character for him, even though it's in the short time you had him. And he looks back to you, Schmidt, says, like proudly with like these cards, and he says, "I'm Jenks. That's Nat. That's Squidly." And he points at the he says Squidly, pointing to the kid with the pirate hat, and Nat is the lanky girl he points at.
Which one's the tiefling?
Squidly, the boy with the pirate hat.
Okay. And are you a pirate?
He kind of like pulls down the brim of the hat, like this kid's got like a presence. He says, "That's right, and it's Captain Squidly." And you see him like pull like this toy bow out with like this quiver of arrows from underneath his cot.
Oh, with a bow. A pirate with a bow? Shouldn't you be wielding some sort of rapier?
"That's what she's for." And he points over to like the girl Nat. Like she pulls out this wood sword that she had under her pillow that she was sleeping very closely with. And you see like she doesn't say anything, but she just gives you this like gruff kind of look and like gestures a symbol to the both of them and kind of does a hand thing to you.
Ooh, nice. Well, don't threaten me with a good time. I think we should leave before we get roughed up by these toddlers. You know what I'm saying?
You see,
Yeah.
Squidly's still kind of like going back to the brim of the hat again. He's just got like that captain with like the one leg up on the edge of the cot, and he looks over at you like cool guy and all, and just says, "You let us know when you need another job done." He winks with the one eye that's not covered by an eye patch.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, kids. Kids. You know, why don't you go to school? Why don't you just go do that? Go to school. Get an education.
You
Hey,
So, still kind of standing near you while you say this is the portly boy, still holding like the owlbear, and like he started like tucking the wand back in now, and like out of his little pouch where he stuck those cards, you see like more depth than you can even perceive. Alatar, you notice that the pirate kid, Squidly, comes back up and has like just fingered the cards out like in this expert fashion out of his pocket before Jenks even noticed it, and the kid just starts like shuffling them, and you see it's like 2 aces and a pretty lady, and like he says, "We've already got our money maker," and like you can tell he's like showing you like the hint of some sort of like street corner hustle kind of game.
sure.
Was it good? Did he do a good job, or was it
He actually
shitty?
did. Yeah, he did a pretty good job with like the whole sleight of hands card.
I
Like
come-
trying to palm it
I
a little
come
bit.
behind Altar, and I go, "Ah!" And I slap him on the back, and I was, "He's not half bad."
No, this one has the makings of a true ruffian.
My shoulder.
I say, "You don't need to go to school. You just need to be able to run faster than that kid." And I point
Yeah.
to the kid running faster than him right now.
And then also, stay away from bird folk. Dangerous.
Can I pull the fat kid over?
He's just like bouncing between the 3 of us. He's probably like, "Go away."
I mean, like out of all of them, like you've got like the lanky girl who doesn't talk sign language, but serious, quiet one. You've got the very way too charismatic for his own good fucking tiefling kid. And then like the portly kid, other than like the one moment of sort of brave face he put on when you asked him to do that thing last night, he just seems like, oh, he's like the Winnie the Pooh of the group, like, oh, okay, and he kind of like walks over towards you, Alatar.
Looking him over, does he have an ounce of magical anything in him? Like is he
Make an
like
Arcana
is there
check.
any potential at all here for anything?
Yeah. You you sense something about him. You don't think he, in any way, shape, or form, has managed to harness it quite
Okay.
yet. But
Just raw power.
He's not hopeless
Okay.
in
I
your
pull
initial
out.
assessment.
I just look at him, like I give him I sit down and I really look at him, like to the point where it's like really uncomfortable, like when someone's
What?
just like looking at you.
What? He's like just holding like cards gone, wand tucked into the sash, and like the owlbear, just like with both hands, like, what? Where's I did a good job.
And I'm sure he like looks away a little bit. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
right,
like kind
right
of
here,
like.
right here. There, okay. And I pull up a desk and I pull out a piece of parchment from my satchel and I get out some ink and I start writing. Um, I write a thing. I fold it up. I take out a ring and some wax and I seal it and I put the seal on it and I say, if you're actually interested in pursuing the arts, go here. There's a place. Here's this. Give it to them. They'll know what to do. I'll take care of your room and board. Go. If you're interested.
He like takes it nervously and kind of just presses it against the back of the bear and like looks at you, kind of like intrigued, but also like just still very timid, and just sort of nods. Like in that same pouch where he was like trying to keep the cards, like he puts that in, but you can tell this time he makes sure to like really button it shut. And he kind of like keeps a hand over the pouch before backing away for you all trying to get out of like this circle of adults. And he goes back over to the bed and sits next to the girl who you all have a pretty good idea that she's deaf at this point. And he just starts like signing to her kind of excitedly. Not too sure if like he seems to not know if you're there at this point, almost like he's in his own little bubble back over there again. And the boy with like the sleight of hand cards, the tiefling, kind of looks at you and says, "I meant what I said." And he just sort of like smiles before doing like a pretty swagger-filled turn back towards his friends. And he goes and just takes like the tea from the deaf girl and starts sipping on it and smiling at her.
I want to lean down to Alatar and be like, "All right, where are you sending that kid? It's not Colette's, is it?"
No.
Alright.
Here,
Okay.
I'll tell you on the way to food.
Yeah.
If you're
And I
really
say-
that interested.
Room and board. Where were you when I was growing up? Sounds like a nice, cushy upbringing for that pudgy kid. He already had it pretty good. Better
Well,
than what I had.
if he decides to walk that path, I assure you it's not an easy one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Feel pretty bad for him if he decides to, but his choice. It's better to have options, I suppose. And I'll say that, like in the envelope, I slipped a gold piece in just to.
Okay.
I didn't, it's there.
Whenever you guys
Yeah, I'm
do, like,
deducting stuff.
do zob blob purple item purchases or hand gold, or if you'll just mark it off your sheet for me.
Yep.
Okay. So anything else you want to do here? Or are you heading out to try to find a bite and then make your next moves?
I get up and just walk out.
Yeah.
I think it's time for food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's as we're walking out, I'm like, you know what? This area does look familiar. I think there might be a grocer around here, like really close by. I want to
Yeah.
say like what is like with a G? God, it's like something.
Gary's?
Something like that. Are there any strangers out and about?
The
you kinda,
garish
like-
green?
Yeah, and like you kind of like
Something like that.
it's activity is starting to pick up, and actually, you're sort of like spinning your wheels out in front of the temple quite a bit, and you start to head north down Fishwife Alley, and you see that it's a little more grim in this direction. And
Oh
then
yeah,
you-
no,
you-
it doesn't look like it's.
and like as Schmidt's kind of like guiding you, you end up turning almost completely back around, passing the Temple of Good Cheer again, and you realize that the street winds south-southeast and turns into Slop Street, which is known for its variety of small but well varied eating options. And the smells are kind of drawing you in, and you all follow your nose to one place or another down this way.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right
it's
off,
definitely
right
this
off
way.
the high road. It's fairly popular during the morning, lunch, and dinner hours.
Nice.
Where are you bringing us, Klug?
Well, it's down this way. It's there's a food place around here. They have amazing paninis.
I mean, you seem
But-
pretty well traveled for this. I mean,
No, I just it's just I've been here before. It's like once or twice. It's fine. And then as we're like turning the corner, like down maybe the south side of Slop Street, I remember. Oh wait, the beer golem. The beer golem is right there. Oh my god, let's go there. It's a tavern.
okay.
Yeah, it's one of those taverns that like serves brunch.
Yes. Even if it's just stale
Dine
bread.
Format.
Yeah.
Format.
Yeah, it's like
stale bread.
stale bread from last night cooked on a pan with some butter and an egg on top, and you know.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Yes.
So you all in the early hours of the morning still, let's say by the time you're doing this, it's at least around 9 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some drinks, you get some food. We don't need to fucking deal with the minutia on,
Nah.
order inventory for that. But you're there, you're eating breakfast. What are you doing? You're talking to each other.
Okay.
What are your
Yeah.
moves while I go?
All right, so this is what I'm thinking we should do. We should fill up here. Don't get too full, because we're gonna get active, right? We're gonna go back up to that warehouse right now. We're gonna finish him off.
I mean, do you really think they're gonna be there? I have a book out,
No.
by the way. I'm like reading, and I'm just kind of like listening to what you're saying and talking while also reading.
They better not be there. I'm counting on them not being there.
I don't think they're gonna be there.
I really hope they're not. But like we gotta go, and we gotta see what happened to Floon.
There's like a little voice in the back of all of your minds that kind of says, "What do we know so far about the situation?"
I know some things.
I feel like, what do we know?
There is a
We
gang
are right
war
here,
going
by the way.
on here between two opposing factions.
Yeah, that's true. The
Zentarum
Yep.
and the Xanathar.
Mm-hmm.
We walked in on a hit job. We were in Xanathar territory, but where were we? Was it?
You're
we were
in the
Zen-
Zentarum warehouse,
Yes.
and you found
That was
Xanathar
overrun.
thugs and bodies everywhere. There's probably about 7 bodies of Zentarum in there. If Alatar is kind of trying to recall with his seemingly pretty strong memory. So about 7 Zentarum bodies in there. You probably see the tattoos. And only about 4 Xanathar thugs. And I believe Dante passed on your way to the temple last night that those Kenku, and Kenku in general, dressed as they were, work for the Xanathar Guild.
Okay.
I
so
do
we
not
know-
enjoy this because I happen to owe Xanathar something.
Oh, like money?
What do you-
How much do you know? Just pay it
I
off.
mean, yeah.
I cannot repay this debt that easily.
Oh,
What-
you
what
owe
is-
life debt? What is it?
What is that? What does that mean? Like we both kind of like
Yeah.
scoot in a little bit. What? I mean, you could tell us. I mean, we're doing business, so
Yeah. We're in this together.
yeah. I mean, at this point,
Let's just say Xanathar at bay as long as I make my payments.
Okay.
Wait, you have to pay them? What do what do you have to pay them?
Money, you fool. What do you pay anybody?
Well,
I mean, there's lots of payments that you could
right. Yeah.
pay.
Like maybe you need
Not
to
all
give them
money.
like someone's teeth or something.
Yeah, like every month. Oh, what if
mean-
you had to like cut off the tattoo of the
That's just a
Zentarum
bonus.
every single time? That was the
Oh.
payment, is you had to pay in tattoos.
I
Yeah.
mean, those are just parts of the jobs that they ask for. Yes.
So
But
wait a second.
money is a little bit easier.
Why did they attack you last night then? If you're helping them.
I don't want to say I'm helping them.
We
So
attacked
wait.
them technically.
Well, no, we were trying to get in there and they
I-
shot at us first.
I did break their
remember.
door.
No,
I mean, we
no,
weren't being
you
subtle.
broke the Zentarum's door. You didn't break the Zenithar's door.
The other way around, I think. There's so many Zenzarthiums.
Why would you pick a gang name so similar? They're both.
Maybe that's
Z.
why
They might
they're
as well just
beefing.
get married. They should-
Yeah,
that's
maybe that's why they're
beefing.
beefing. But just to be clear, it is Xanathar Guild.
We were at the Xanathar factory.
Zentarum
Or, sorry,
Warehouse.
Zentarum.
I mean, I can
Warehouse. Thank you.
spell. It just sounds the same.
Yeah. Oh, there's an H
Yeah.
in there? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I'm
see?
looking at your notes. Oh,
I-
yeah. Okay.
I totally was spelling that wrong, by the way.
I mean, most people that grew up in Waterdeep don't always spell so good, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm a wizard.
wasn't what's her face the half orc at the Yawning Portal? She was Zentarum, right?
Yeah, she was Zentarum. Yeah, that was
Yes.
the tattoo that we faked. Do we still have our
Yeah.
tattoos? So it's kind of smeared a little
how
bit.
they doing now?
Some of them might have smeared a
Kinda
bit with the
rubbed.
bloodshed and the fighting and
Oh,
the
yeah, the
crashing
bloodshed, yeah.
and the sleeping.
Sorry about that. Maybe we should cover it up more.
We were looking like them. We walked
Yeah.
into a hit on them,
Yeah.
and that's why they attacked us because they saw the emblem on our arm, not
What?
because we were just breaking into the place.
I don't really have like a horse in this race, so to speak.
We kind of do. We get
well,
Floon.
We gotta find Floon, but that's only
Right.
because he's worth 100 gold pieces.
That's a lot of money.
Which you've only
I
been
mean, it's
paid-
not that much, but
you've
I mean,
only
it's
been
some
paid,
money. Yeah,
10 out
some-
of the 100 so far.
Oh, right.
yeah, but that's
That
nothing.
90 more.
It's like
I
10.
feel like I heard a voice of God. 90.
Yeah. I think we should go. We
Okay.
should do it. We
let's-
should get in there. We should at least find
Well,
out
hey.
what happened to Floon.
Careful approach because
Yes.
maybe the Zentarum already know that they had been hit and
Oh.
they're there now, which would be bad. Well, maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's fine. Or maybe the city guard is. Let's just be careful as we approach.
Okay.
I'd say we start walking. We
Yeah,
leave.
let's
We
do it.
pay up or
Okay.
whatever, however much we owe, and then
You settle up. It's a paltry price. We don't need to.
I
check
slapped
that.
down a gold.
Sure.
my God.
And you.
you just paid for like a month's of rent for them.
Yeah, like I'll remember you.
What? Sure. Yeah. Whatever.
And after kind of going back and forth, recapping a bit your experiences and your next moves, you start making your way back to Candle Lane.
All right.
How are you approaching? As you get closer,
Carefully.
carefully.
Yeah.
Other than the normal hustle and bustle that you've kind of already experienced this morning and is fairly common around here, you don't really encounter much, and you notice that Candle Lane itself is a pretty quiet street. It's almost as if like a lot of the surrounding buildings are abandoned near this warehouse. It's a very sexy morning.
We go from here to here.
I have, without any apology, a raging hard on right now this morning. Really walking down the street, very unapologetic about it. Just let it.
Well,
I'm
it
not
always
being-
points north.
They don't,
Yeah.
they don't call it morning wood for nothing, right? You
I'm
know?
not belt hiding that shit. I'm
It's, you know,
I mean,
they say follow your nose, but
getting ready for battle. But
This is like
we're not there yet.
sexy
and I do
detective
this-
music.
A
And I
rush
do
of blood
this-
to your head, you know.
And I do this in a way of more just not like if I could get this if it come off this way, it's more in a doesn't understand the social norms.
Yeah, no, we get that.
It's not, it's not that he's
yeah.
proud of it. It's not that
Right.
he's proud of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flaunting it.
Someone's ready for battle. That's all I'm saying.
This is a great thing in bird culture.
Oh yeah, bird cult. Do you know about birds? Are they threatened by this? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I
Let's
mean,
work
we
it
know.
out when we get there.
Yeah. So, is there any like, are there
Are
any
you guys talking
obvious
about the music?
present?
What? No, not at all.
Hey, it's just some guy trying to make a few copper pieces on the corner playing that brass instrument, man.
Oh,
In this
You do you,
sexy film noir Waterdeep episode.
Are there any like city guards like more than normal
Um,
out and about? Like I know we saw some, but
So, where's Astro Street? Let me kind of, Jesus. Like as you pass the Way of the Dragon, which is like one of the main thoroughfares, you see that to the southwest, there is quite a like gathering of guards. Like they seem to be patrolling,
Like
and also
here?
kind of hanging. No, like where my
No,
this pink
circle
is.
okay.
There's a bunch of City Watch kind of gathered around there. They seem to be like blocking off like a lot of the sort of side alleys and streets.
Okay.
But if you
But we can walk through.
if you're going around them, you could easily snake your way to Candle.
Yeah.
Like over there.
yeah.
And this is obviously different than the path that we took last night. Last night it
is,
was
yeah.
more like this.
You're through the alley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we would just go around.
Okay. So, walking through here again, like, it's fairly quiet. I mean, there's some people here and there, but there's no other, like, businesses or anything. So best you can tell, some places are abandoned, some places are maybe residences, but nothing out of the ordinary to you, nothing too active. And you get closer and closer to the warehouse, and it just seems quiet.
Okay. You think there's any way like into the warehouse that's not the front door? Maybe like
Well,
above?
I don't know. We'd have to get there. Like there was I mean, we only saw one side of it. We could very
Yeah.
well walk around and just.
Yeah. It's up against these other buildings though. I don't know if there's a. Maybe we have to get up on another building and then crawl over.
What,
What, can we circle the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put up like a hood, by the way, like kind of going
shit, I don't-
inconspicuous.
Have a hood. Can I minor illusion a hood on me?
Yeah,
It's
probably.
less than a 5-foot cube.
Yeah, totally.
I want to minor illusion a bucket, and I'm gonna wear that bucket.
Why
Yep.
are you wearing a piss bucket?
Oh god, I'm terrible at these things. Nah, it's a disguise. It's a disguise. Look exactly the same. Look at my head.
Okay. Dante, just following along with the skinny boys here.
I am, and Dante is genuinely just kind of like lost in his own thought.
Okay.
As he follows.
Raging.
No, I'm totally waking up still.
So, you, based on your point of entry, I'll just assume you walked about counterclockwise around Candle Lane, and as you go down Book Street, and come down towards the little alleyway that goes back behind another part of some of the buildings that are clustered near the warehouse, you spot a couple City Watch guards sort of blocking off this area.
Whoa.
Like when we walked around, because we walked around like Candle Lane this way.
Yep.
Could we actually see the warehouse that
Yeah,
where we
yeah,
were
actually,
ambushed?
so, and sorry for the pin placement, but it's actually more like the building right where it kind of starts to hit that 45-degree angle under the sea. And there is a portion of it that like you can see the back side of the building there, basically.
Okay.
As you
Is
pass
it still
through the
like I
sewers.
would say that we kind of, at least Alatar kind of stops for a second and just listens? Like,
Yeah.
is it still quiet and like it doesn't sound like activity or?
Any of you actively kind of checking the place out could make a perception check if you like right now.
I would love to do that.
Yes. Although I don't think I'm good at this.
You know, wait. That's perception.
Oh, I am.
I get a little distracted because as I like sit against the gate, I imagine Dante like does this, just like
Your bodyguard.
and just like still with a raging, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And I just kind of like look over and I'm like, dude, God, man.
You're ruining our disguise.
Yeah, Alatar, you are very distracted, but it doesn't stop Schmidt from kind of like, and as you look over, you see coming out through like the fence that you all went through, like that sort of outer yard fence. You see a red-haired young man kind of like peeking through the gate, like looking out very timidly. And he starts just kind of like walking forward slowly.
Like towards us or away from us?
If you are, let's say, your little investigation, your little pause was happening here. He is heading north and west down Candle Lane, out the gate there. I mean, again, like you clock this, and it's like that sort of peeking out the door moment, hesitating for quite a while, and then he just starts like slowly walking, almost like hobbling a little bit.
I'm still very distracted, but for
yeah,
all
so for all
10
intents
inches of
purposes,
glory next to me.
This is Schmidt clocking this right now. Also,
It was a kid?
There we go.
no, this was a young man with reddish hair.
Oh! Guys! And I straight up smack Alatar.
God, what?
And I grab
It actually hits me. You... oh!
I touched it. I touched it.
Is that him?
I'm just sitting there rubbing it.
Wait, maybe no fighting. Wait, that might be him. That might be his guy. Looks like the guy.
Yeah. And we start like walking.
I just yell out, "Hey!"
I start running.
Oh my god! I yell at him, "Hey!"
I jog.
Dante just starts jogging at him.
Yeah.
He kind of like looks back. You notice he's like sort of like holding his shoulder and hobbling.
I'm raising my hand.
Huh?
Yeah. Hey!
He starts hobbling faster.
No!
I yell.
And so do I.
Wait, Floon, wait.
And he pauses for a moment and then like stops and starts slowly turning back towards you all.
Yeah.
And I slowly slow down next to him.
Yeah, I get up. I get up next time.
Why you run away?
And you see that like as you kind of get like quite close to him.
My god!
You see that his like this guy's been through a rough night and his eyes are moist with liquid. He says, "You've seen Floon."
Wait, you're not Floon? Are you Floon? Are you Floon?
Who are you?
He kind of wipes his eyes and kind of like clears his throat a little bit and says, "I am Rainier," and he bows to the best of his ability. You can tell he's wounded, and he comes back and he says, "Floon was with me, but I don't know what they did. They interrogated both of us."
Wait, who's
Whoa,
hold on, fresh? Who is they? Who is they?
Is this a fresh wound?
He's
And
looking
how
at
do
all
you spell your name?
Rainier.
Why don't all three of you make an insight check?
Yeah, and what kind of awesome bow did he do? Is that like an official Kind of.
Yeah, it looked like this guy wasn't his first bow. Like he's
Noble of some sort.
Oh my god.
yeah.
I
Altar,
would
you
recognize
immediately
that, yeah.
recognize the name as the one of the sons of Lord Dagalt Neverember, former Open Lord of Waterdeep, who sort of fell out of favor and allegedly like left town to go rule Neverwinter. So not only is this guy noble, but he's so noble that even Dante knows who he is.
Whoa.
Schmidt, you
Oh,
don't
shit.
immediately like make that connection.
Hey,
But
take it easy. Oh shit! What are you talking about?
You've definitely heard of him.
I do
Okay.
I do a very like proper royal greeting. I mean, he's royalty, right? Like,
Essentially, yeah.
yeah, I do a very royal kind of. I would know what to say. Like, what title? What title would you say he is?
Like
my
a
lord or
something, yeah.
okay.
My liege.
My lord, we were here last night looking for Floon. The people that you were talking about, were they Kenku bird people?
No.
Were you talking about the Xanathar Guild? Were they thugs? Did they have tattoos?
I believe they were Zentarum. They had the symbol of the snake.
Zentarum held you?
Wait, is it this symbol? And I
No.
hold up the smudged piece of shit that we had from last night.
Yes, it's their warehouse. Floon and I...
No.
Floon was much more intoxicated than usual. And I just wanted to walk him home when they besieged us somewhere past Book Street.
What?
What?
I don't know what they did with Floon. They interrogated me first.
And they. What were they asking?
Yeah,
What did they want to know?
And he just kind of takes a big deep breath, and you notice Alatar, like, just kind of in passing that, like, he keeps sort of like touching around his neck, but you don't really see anything under the shirt or anything really there. And he says, "It's always about my father, isn't it? They wanted to know about the 500,000 dragons he stole. They say he stole it from the city and hid it somewhere. Like I know anything about that. Like he tells me anything." And he's like clutching at that neck again. He says,
Oh.
"But then I guess they found something they wanted. They ripped my amulet off, the one my mother gave me."
I smack Alatar.
Can I? Yeah, like I have an amulet that we found on the ground. Is it?
You're
I present it like.
You've got Floon's medallion?
Oh, this is not. This isn't yours.
No.
Well,
That is
we did find
Floon's.
this at least. So
It probably ripped free when they were dragging us from Book Street. We
rolled some pretty high perception checks.
Oh,
Sorry.
speaking of which, and I stop everybody and I kind of look around. There's guards patrolling this area. You want to get off the street? The Flounder's right there. We could just get some second breakfast.
Would you
Well-
mind if I went back for my amulet? They ripped it off and took something out from the locket. I didn't even know it was a locket, but the necklace itself was given to me by my
Of
late mother.
course, my lord, we're at your service. Whatever
I'd
you
rather
need.
not involve the
Take it
watch,
easy.
but I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
still on the upper floor where they interrogated me.
Oh,
And he's like looking back to the warehouse.
wait, is this
saying
place empty?
So he says, "Look," he's looking around nervously. He's like, "It didn't seem like anyone was there. I just snuck out, and I feel terrible about this, but after they questioned me about my father and his dragons, and they locked me up in some storage closet and I managed to get my bindings free. I heard ruckus all throughout the night, and clearly there was some bloodshed. I could hear the screaming, but I stayed hidden, and all the while a coward. Was it Floon that was screaming? I don't even know.
No,
And
that was us. We were killing the bird people, and then I may have screamed a little bit.
did you see him? Did you see Floon? He's
No,
got
we were trying
shorter
to-
red hair
we're-
and
we're
more
trying
of a
to
beard.
find- We're trying to find Floon, but may I ask, how do you know Floon? Are you
I-
friends? Is he of a noble house? What is?
I don't like the noble crowd. It's so stuffy. I
Right?
go to
I
more interesting places like
Yeah.
the Yawning Portal, and I met him there with that kooky Volo at one point or another, and then the two of us just hit it off, and
That's
we
where
often
we were
met.
at.
We often met at the dock ward for drinks and just sort of getting away from it all,
It's a
Volo
familiar
is the one
ring.
that sent us to find Floon.
Volo.
We were just yes, we met him just the other day.
Yep.
Yesterday, before we
What?
got shot and almost murdered.
I tell you what, you help me. You keep watch. Maybe one of you come with me or something. But I just want to go look for my amulet real quick. And if
Yeah,
you do that for me, I will join you in finding Floon. It's the least I
Okay.
can do.
I give
Yes.
him a look up and down.
He's pretty well built.
Okay.
And
Are you a healer? I say to him,
I've
Kind of.
been trained
Okay.
in the art of swordplay, but I do not know any healing skills, I'm afraid. And he's kind of
Yeah,
like,
you'll
he's kind
do.
of like
Come on, let's
squaring
go.
you up and down a little bit. Yeah.
I like that you're just like to the point. Yeah. Okay, swords. That's fine.
That'll
Let's
do.
go.
Just you know where to put the pointy end, right?
Yes, yes, I do. And he kind of gives you like this sort of appreciative nod. Says, I don't think anyone was still there, but I was just in the storage closet on the ground level. But they were interrogating us on the upper floor. Maybe we can just cautiously
Yeah.
enter
Let's
back
go take
in.
a look.
Yeah. We should gotta get off the street right now. Anyway, there's guards
Yeah.
roaming around.
And he like back through the sort of open fence in the yard. He heads back in and kind of goes towards the door that was more like blockaded with the crates. Looks like maybe that's the door he escaped out of. And
I hate this place.
he walks you back over, and he's just kind of like going very, very slowly. Why don't you all make a perception check? Is anyone not going? Is anyone staying out by the street? What's the situation here?
I'm
Oh, what did
rolling.
my insight get me last time? Do I know?
I
I just saw that on the board.
So, no, that was basically Alatar definitely recognized who this guy was, and
Oh, okay.
and he's so well known that even Dante knows who he is. Is the
Gotcha. Well, I don't know what's happening right now.
you know that like at some point you heard a lot about the Open Lord of Waterdeep, Lord Never Ember, and you know that people that you were associated with at that time were not fond of him in any way, shape, or form. And you know that this person is a child of his.
Alatar really feels for this guy.
You as you all kind of creep back into again, is anyone not going back into the warehouse with the,
I'm in.
with the group?
We're doing it.
Everyone's in? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Alatar, you don't get a sense that anyone is still here. You do see, like, the bodies are still here. That the two Kenko you all killed, the ones that were already
Oh, shit,
here
the
last
bodies are there?
night. This place appears to have been largely untouched since you were here last night. Although all of your instincts collectively tell you that that's very unlikely to last for long, given that it's a new morning. and everything that's sort of happening on the streets nearby here right now. And Schmidt, like, you step over some broken bits of barrel,
Trying to
probably.
be quiet.
Yeah, like you're just making so much fucking noise to the point that everyone just
Schmidt.
stops and glares at you. And you all have that feeling like, well, if someone's here, they fucking know we're here now. But nothing happens. And Renair points at, like, just past where that guy was fucking pot-shotting you last night over and over again.
piece of
He kind
shit.
of points at it and says, like, that's where I hid. That's where they locked me up. But it
Oh, there's a
let
door
me
back
escape.
there.
Yeah, there's a door back there. And he starts going. He's like, I'm gonna go upstairs to the room
Yeah.
where they question me.
I
By the
follow.
way, in this room, I restock on all the things I threw and stabbed in people and left. I left a throwing axe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'll
like
take
that.
that inventory.
Do
Yeah,
you loot their body?
I love that.
What's that? Yeah, and I
yeah.
loot their bodies.
Let's loot their bodies.
Okay.
I'm going up the stairs.
And you notice that Raynair picks up like a dagger and a like a rapier off some of the bodies himself, like almost immediately upon entering. 1 second. Let's pull something up here.
Have any gold?
I walked past one of the Kinku bird people, and I just cast frostbite on his fucking dead ass body.
Okay.
It- While we're in here and all these boxes
yeah.
and all that, I'm kind of my mind is wondering. His mind is wondering. And are there any boxes that stand out? I take my hammer out and I kind of start tapping the boxes I walk by.
Yeah,
You
some
mean
of
right,
them
Molly?
have just like a wide variety of general supplies. But then as like you start kind of like almost like prying, you know, the lid off in that sort of crowbar sort of way. You see that a lot of them have a lot of like dark leathers, a lot of things that you're learning are very quintessential to some of the Zentarum and sometimes the Xanathar. But again, being a Zentarum warehouse, you see a variety of just like basic weaponry, you know, various swords and ammunition for ranged weapons, and again, like a lot of different types of clothing of the shadier variety.
Shadier variety. Explain to me that, because I am interested in some clothes.
Like lots
Yeah.
of dark fabrics, like dark stained leathers.
Grabbing them.
Lots of hoods and cloaks.
Yep.
Many shirts with like the snake symbol on it.
Get all that
and
I'll
shit.
grab it.
Yeah.
The two Kenku that are dead and were left here apparently each have hooded cloaks on them, which you recognize, Dante, as stylistically being very familiar with the Xanathar. They also all have short swords and short bows.
So there was
There
just
goes.
for inventory's sake,
Yeah.
there were hooded cloaks,
Yep.
snake shirts, and then
Yep.
you said there's leather what?
Like dark stained leathers. So probably some studded leather, probably some basic leather
Can-
armor.
Could we just put that in the party sheet?
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
just grabbed 4 of everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
just mark it down on one of your sheets for now, and we can kind
I got
of
it.
deal with
Yeah.
that later. Then, Rainier starts kind of heading upstairs. I don't know if anyone's accompanying him or if
I'm
you are kind
right
of just
behind him.
scouting the downstairs.
Yeah,
a bit
I'm
more.
too.
I'm right behind him. I'm
Okay.
sticking with
Well,
this guy.
Once I see that they move that way, then I follow.
So as you go upstairs, it's not unlike the lower level. It's over to the screen right side, which I'll reveal here. And you find that there is, other than just more storage on the upper level, and the balcony, there's like one set of double doors to the northeast corner, which is where he starts heading over towards. And he says it was back here in the center room where they tied me up and started interrogating me.
Okay. I'm right behind you, but just be careful.
He kind of, like, as he sort of pushes open like one of the double doors, he says, "No doubt they questioned Floon after me, and who knows what happened? And he's like almost like slowly going in as if like he expects to see the body or something. Um, and like stepping very slowly, like you come into this next room and find that the door to the screen left side there is slightly ajar. Again, up here, like all the windows are painted over. So short of like opening them, you can't really see out into the street beyond.
What's the sense here? Like, is it feeling really ominous? Is there
I mean,
any like
it's feeling
creaking of?
ominous, almost like you can sense like the things that have transpired here, and like this sort of sense of unknown is sort of weighing on all of you, especially with Rainier, like constantly like his little noises and reactions just instinctively like make you think that he's expecting to find a dead friend like at any moment now.
Okay.
And so like, but you don't hear anything. Like your actual senses are not kicking into the point where you feel in danger. And he
Okay.
starts pushing open this slightly ajar door, and you can hear him just like breathe a sigh of relief. And all you see as you look past him is a wooden chair with a bunch of like loose cut ropes and bindings on the floor. And no one is in here. You might see like a couple of rats skitter about as you push the door open. But really nothing else. But you do notice that as he finishes fully opening the door, there's like a ding 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 sound, and you look up and you see that it's like it's not triggering an alarm so much as it's just like this built-in little string
bell.
trap that like whenever you open the door it just chimes on this bell above the door.
It's okay. We're okay. We're okay.
The room itself, you know, there's a couple desks, a couple other chairs near those desks, some cobwebs everywhere. But
Is there?
the dust all around the center of the room is mostly like kind of kicked up and cleared out, obviously from a lot of activity as Rainier has described to you.
Is there blood?
There is blood on the floor, yes, but
Okay.
not a large amount. You know, more like the blood you'd expect to see from someone being punched and beaten quite a bit. And there are
Okay.
2 doors that lead to the west.
I take the right door. To the west, the one up.
Um,
I stick my ear to it just to listen beforehand.
Yeah.
okay. Why don't you both make a perception check for me? Oh, okay. As you go into the door, open or go towards the door to this western room, you don't hear or see anything, but you do notice on the desk is this. You almost think it's like a folded envelope at first, but it's this strange, almost paper mache thing, and like you almost pass it because your intent is like your survival instincts, and you go and press your ear up against the door and you don't hear anything. You start to push it, and like as you're pushing it, you look back at the desk again and see this thing, and realize that it's like this folded crane, like bird, out of paper.
Okay.
And even then, you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But then you start to notice that there's strange, like arcane runes, almost like drawn over it or burned into the surface.
Oh.
Oh, I immediately go over to it, like absolutely fascinated.
And you pick it up, and it's this this paper bird that you immediately sense is much more than just folded paper.
Okay.
Kind of looks like that.
Okay.
Oh, what is that?
Are you standing next to me?
Yeah.
I am now too.
I don't know. It's there's magic, something about this. I want to study this. I'm not sure what it is, but
Make make an Arcana check.
Rainier, have you seen this? What is that?
I've heard of things like that, and he goes on to describe like mages who sometimes write things and send them because they don't trust dumb animals. And like as he's sort of saying that, like Alatar, like you immediately clock the thing. and realize that this is kind of an uncommon item that you don't know. With a little more time with it, you think you could understand it, but
Okay.
you think that like what Rainier is saying rings true, that you can write a certain amount on there, and speak a creature's true name, and the parchment would magically fold and begin to animate and fly to that recipient, almost like a messenger bird.
Oh shit.
Do you say this?
Yeah, I would be like, I think mages use this as like to send messages. I've seen this before. I've seen it many times.
Is there a message on it now?
Do we want to take? Yeah. I do. I know any? Do I know enough about this that like if I open it, will? I guess my question is like I would love to learn how to do this. If I unfold the pages, will I miss my chance?
Break it?
You don't know. I mean, like as far as that goes, you don't think so.
Okay. Do I catch any like words in the writing? I would probably start to unfold it, just paying attention to how the creases are folded, but I want to try to see if I can catch any phrases or like obvious things.
Okay.
I'd probably unfold it most
Yeah,
of the
you
way.
begin looking it over. Give me a moment on that. Is anyone
What-
else doing anything?
Yeah, what if we send this to Floon and tell him to meet us somewhere?
But we have to know his true name.
Floon!
Do I know if it's really
Rainier.
rather more
Rainier,
than that?
yeah.
Rainier, do you know Floon's true name?
Floon Blagmar.
There you go.
Floon Blagmar?
Terrible name.
That's a terrible name.
Well,
Yeah.
we can't all be blessed.
Yeah, his
Um,
parents are at fault.
Listen, I could probably figure this out. But
Is it? And
I
like
need
Rainier,
time.
like as you like asking this, he's like looking at you, he says, "Does it do what you said? What I thought? It's like a messenger bird.
Yep.
Should we try it?"
That seems like a good idea.
I mean, what are the words say on it? Or just general idea? Is there a
Like
message?
there are no messages on it. It does look like that this was. You see some like imprinting on it, almost as if like this was at the bottom of a stack. But there's no like actual ink writing on here. Like the arcane symbols kind of burned into parts of the paper just seem to be a part of the enchantment on the thing.
Oh, this is actually an interesting question. Rain, do you have just by chance a pearl on you?
And he's kind of like looking around. And he says, "No, but there it is." And he's like looking past the chair in the center of the room and over like kicked in the corner. Says, "This is where they ripped it off." And he like lifts up a locket, like
No,
decent
wait, you
sized-
found it?
decent sized locket, and like littered on the floor around it are various small pearls. You kind of guess make
It's
up
convenient.
the necklace string portion of the thing.
How valuable would you say the pearls are?
Well, quite.
Okay. Can I just take one of these? Can I have this? And I hold up one that's kind of big-ish.
Well, I don't see why not. If you're helping me find Floon, I'd help you.
As
in
soon
any
as
way
he
I
says
can.
it, I stop listening. I sit down. I open up my book, and I take the pearl as a focus. I pull out an owl feather from within my satchel. I lay it down on top of the little bird thing, and I just say I need about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just keep looking, searching.
Like,
And
yeah,
yeah.
you do that, and like Dante and Schmidt, like you notice that uh, Rainier is just holding the locket, like almost in disbelief, and he's just like, I didn't even know this was a locket, and he's like sort of like kind of like thumbing or fingering the inside of the thing. And he's like, what
Uh-huh.
was in here that they even wanted? Like, why would they just leave the locket? And you see, like, it's not too hard to kind of like look over his shoulder and catch his.
And it's open?
It's open, like, but there's like clearly like some sort of like large gem or something missing from the inside of it.
Oh. Huh.
Huh. And he's just sort of out here.
Well, at least you got your locket back. Is it family heirloom or something?
My late mother gave
Oh.
this to me. My father
Well, there you
always
go.
told me to keep it close, but maybe there was more to this than I knew. And he's just sort of like shaking his head and, takes the broken thing and just really puts it in his
There's
pocket.
Wait, is it possible that Floons can open too?
I mean,
Alatar,
maybe.
give me the. Where is it? I start like patting
just-
you down.
Yeah, I'm intent. I'm focused on this, like
Vest
in
pocket.
the zone. No, it's not in my vest pocket.
Start going through your bag. Where is it? I try to find it.
I just stick my hand in my pants pocket and I just kind of hold
There
it.
you go. Yeah. Okay, I want to investigate. Oh, yay, 6 on Floon's locket to see if it opens. I don't think it opens.
No, it doesn't. Like, as you can see, it's pretty clear cut. Like, it's just this literal flat surface that has like this embossed unicorn on it.
You like bang it on the desk.
Rain, here, look at this. Is it look? Are this the same? What's going on here?
No, but the more I think about it, we have been told we look alike, and we both have big amulet necklaces.
Yeah.
And I just can't help but think, wherever Floon is right now, they think it's me. They think he knows things that he can't even answer.
Oh,
who is they?
the Xanathar.
Not like this. Okay. Well, that was easy.
Right?
They're always the problem.
The Xanathar Guild? They're the ones that roughed you up, interrogated you?
Well,
Or was it the Xantar?
it was in Tarm, but
Oh, right.
and it, like he's kind of like looks back for a moment. He says, "I'm pretty sure the ones asking all the questions were laying dead down there with those bird creatures."
Were the bird creatures here to rescue you? No, right?
I don't know.
Well, it's a stroke of luck that they showed up when they did. Otherwise, you might be dead.
Well, perhaps they've taken Floon and he's still alive, or maybe not. And he kind of like falls into this sort of
Oh.
dark moment again.
Wow, maybe Floon is alive. What an emotional roller coaster. You know
What's
what?
in these other doors?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I just walked to the
Closed
south
doors all around us.
west door.
Like, imagine Dante is just kind of like pacing and just poking around at this point, and
Yeah.
like you go in here and like it's just kind of like an empty, rat shit filled room right now.
Ew.
There's really not much of interest up here. But if you do get bored, like you feel like there was a lot more going on in the lower levels.
What about this door?
Oh, these are all windows. Sorry.
Okay.
I tell them I'm gonna go downstairs and check the bodies,
Okay.
and I'm
Hey,
just gonna
if you-
start looting all of them.
If you
Yeah.
find any quarterstaffs, let me know. I need one.
I nod.
Okay. I stay with Rain and Alter.
Okay. Um,
Oh, wait! I think I
I
know what
stick my head
Altar's
in.
doing. I think. Look at this thing too, and it's the amulet.
okay. Altar, like I imagine, is still
It's
in deep focus. Who's
tell
just
me
like,
when 10 minutes have gone past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dante, as you kind of like, I just imagine like you're just sort of like, like poking around, like looking
Yep.
at that thing, looking at the other thing.
I'm turning the dead bodies over, see if I
Yeah,
recognize
just
anybody.
sort of like kicking a body over here and there, like just sort of like browsing the place. Um, making a investigation check for me.
Oh God, really?
Make it a good one. Oh,
Okay.
It's an intelligence-based
oh
check.
my
Uh,
god.
you're looking real hard for like all of the things Schmidt said, but more importantly, things that you're interested in, and
It's true.
it takes a while. But you do eventually find like a quarterstaff. Chances are, if there's any sort of basic weapon or armor that you were looking for, you would find it in one of the crates or on some of the bodies down here. This is, in fact, a warehouse filled with supplies that, whether they might be selling them or using them for their own members, you don't know. But there's a wide variety of things here.
Hmm.
Um, since you're spending some time sort of poking around, why don't you just give me one last perception check just to see if anything else catches your eye while you're doing the hard look. Okay. Um,
Better being perceptive than I am investigating, obviously.
yeah, you notice like as you make your way to like the western corner, where there's like still some scorch marks from where Schmidt blasted that bird with some fire, and you were sort of like doing your whole shield defense system. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you notice that out of all of the things you've seen here, like this area in particular
Mm-hmm.
looks to be way less dusty on the floor than the rest of the place. Almost as if like there's like a lot of foot traffic like straight into the wall to the north there.
Okay.
Um, and you like as you get closer and
Does it
closer,
feel hollow?
uh, yeah, you see you kind of like feel around the wall and just start knocking on it, and you hear like a bit of an echo come back. And it takes you a moment, but you find like a piece of wood panel that just seems shorter and out of place, and you press into it, and the moment you do, like the wall pushes forward, and there's like a ringing bell sound that's heard upstairs. But
What?
despite that, in front of you is a small like secret storage room.
So wait, I heard a ringing bell.
Yeah, it's
Like,
almost as if like a lot of the things in this place are like wired up to this like bell system
yeah,
that you spotted.
but I heard a bell up in this room,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't downstairs, so
Correct.
immediately start freaking out.
Yeah.
Shit, I think we have company, and then I start moving around,
And
trying
I
to
just
figure out.
continue searching that room. I don't think to notify anybody.
Yeah, that's fine. So meanwhile, upstairs, before you heard that bell, like just say like maybe a minute before that, Alatar, you finished sort of communing with this item, this strange little bird contraption. Give me 1 second. And so kind of like using a lot of the things Rainier hinted at and your own assumptions, you've kind of with certainty locked in on the fact that if you write a message of 50 words or fewer on this sheet of parchment and speak a creature's name, true name, that the magical parchment will in fact start flying towards that creature, whoever that recipient is.
Okay.
You do know that they must be on the same plane as existence of you. Otherwise, the bird will turn into ash as it takes flight. But you don't feel too concerned about that.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay. Does I look through my bag and I look for like string
Okay.
or like a piece of rope.
Yeah, you all would likely have
Okay.
just some
Us.
basic hemp rope.
We can use this. We could totally use this. It will point us in the exact direction that our Floon. What in the
Oh
ever
shit.
living fuck?
Probably less intense than that, but
Okay,
right
do I
about
hear it
now
downstairs?
is the no. This is us. This is you triggering that little bell
Yeah.
alarm that you
I
you
Yeah,
faintly
we have
you
company, and I run out.
faintly hear that Dante downstairs. But you all hear it very clearly because it's basically ringing right outside this door here.
It's
Yeah.
not enough to stop me from moving.
Yeah, no.
I take out a piece of cured leather and I slap it together and I smash it onto my chest and I cast mage armor.
Okay.
Yeah, and I run out of that room and I immediately like go to the banister there and I hold out my hand ready to firebolt any movement that I see down there.
Okay. And so like with the and you're still holding the paper bird right now. You hadn't actually.
I'm holding it and I pulled out that piece of leather. I slapped it on myself. Cast mage armor, but I'm still holding it. Yeah.
Okay. You do that. Dante, you step into this secret room and you only faintly hear some noises and like, huh? But this has all the trappings to you of like some sort of secret treasure hideout. And you see in this room actually two crates, two very large crates. And you've been poking around this place quite a bit now. But there's something alluring about these two crates in front of you.
Well, I get my hammer out and I go, "What do we have here?" And then I start to.
Do you spin it
Correct.
once as you say that?
Yeah. As I walk up to it, and then I put it underneath, and I just start to crack it open.
Okay. You crack open the first crate, and these are just wood crates. And you see inside, and it's like a very long and kind of narrow crate, and stacked up inside of it with some sort of like interior framing are four separate large paintings. You look at the first one, and you realize that it's you think it's like this very detailed painting of the city of Baldur's Gate.
Mhm.
Um,
Now, okay.
Yeah, and you can tell me like there's three more paintings in here, all very very large. I don't know if Dante would think these things are valuable or not.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm rolling on it right now because I don't know either.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
They bring a tear to my eye.
Mhm.
It's
It's beautiful. You're not sure exactly which cities they depict, but each one of them appears to depict a different grand city. They almost seem magical
Here.
with how beautifully they're painted.
as I see, they're so vivid. Even as I'm flipping through them, it makes me think of all the places I've never been, and all the places I'd like to go. And it feels so far away. The renditions are beautiful.
When you say it's big, like how big are we talking?
I like
Like yards or feet or
like if Dante stretched his arms as wide as possible and he was slightly taller with slightly longer arms,
What are you trying to say?
it's probably about like 6 to 8 feet in width. Honestly.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, like these are
Alright.
like fucking centerpiece hang on the wall above the fireplace kind of paintings.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you hear upstairs. Yeah, you be ready. Anything could come up.
What's in the second crate?
So kind of letting the paintings like slide back down into their supportive crate structure. You pop the top off the second crate, and you notice that on the crate itself is stamped like all of these like merchant guild symbols on it. Immediately feels like stolen cargo to you. And you can see that inside are just stacks of big silver bars, but they look slightly corroded, like there's this like black material corroding, and you can't tell if it's like growing on it or like eating away at it.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, but there's still like some glint of silver,
Well-
even like around those parts. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like it could still be valuable, but definitely not pristine.
Cool. I'll kind of kick it back to them right now, and I'll.
Yeah. So all of you upstairs, you immediately react as one should when an alarm bell goes off. But you don't really hear or see anything. There's no change. Like Rainer's like just kind of like looking around cautiously. I remember hearing that when I was in the closet.
Yeah, pull out your sword.
Maybe that's when the Birdman came in.
Pull out
He,
your sword. Pull out your sword.
He's got that like rapier out. Like he's just like holding a dagger at the side.
I'm like behind him, but like I got my hand. I'm like holding on to his jacket and like looking over his shoulder and being like, here, and I just kind of like push him forward. He's my meat shield. I fully accept this at this point.
Rainier or
Yeah.
Yeah, Rainier.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, beefy boy.
One moment. Let me just put that in there.
Beefcake.
And I stuffed the little bird thing into my pouch.
Schmidt's over here on the banister, just looking down. I don't see anything.
What?
There's nothing there. I don't see anything.
Wait. Where's Dante? Where's Dante?
I don't know.
Wait. But I was really focused earlier. Where did he go somewhere? Did he?
I don't know.
Okay, well. Look
Dante!
around.
I just start screaming.
How much?
What?
Are they down? Are you guys downstairs?
We're
we're
upstairs,
they're
but
upstairs.
we're like looking over the balcony.
And yelling your name.
No, you're
least once.
yelling his name, and
I
you,
yelled your name at least once.
you hear a lot of
Did
like.
I hear it? Did not hear it. Did not hear it at all.
Shit, something's wrong.
He's dead. He's.
How these? Okay, when I see these silver bars, even
Yep.
though they're corroding, in my eyes, I almost see freedom. How much do I think that these things are worth?
You think they're worth a lot, but you don't really know for sure.
Okay.
And you think the paintings are probably worth a lot too. Like this whole room feels like stolen cargo, and obviously like hidden away in a room for some reason. Like your instincts know that much for sure.
I come out of this door. Hey boys!
Dante!
Dante, where are you?
I hold the door open. No, I'm not that smart. Yeah. Downstairs, come on! I let the door shut behind me. So the alarm's probably gonna go off again. We walk in there, but you know. Downstairs.
Are we under attack? What is happening? And I
I
don't run,
I'm by
but
the
I
door.
like speed walk, with like towards the stairs.
Oh, there you
by
go.
Schmidt's barbecue pit.
Oh yeah.
You can hear them like kind of like the wood creaks quite loudly upstairs. Like you hear them all coming towards you.
And then I say, "Oh, by the way, I did want to in my inventory. I did stuff a few silver bars in my pants already.
Okay, all right. Mark that down for me.
Okay,
Still has a boner.
It's raging right now.
Dude, if you could cure your boner problem, you may like go up several intelligence points.
Excuse me, what's the problem?
Cure.
I think you
I
have
say
a
it in
problem with it.
quotes. Cure.
Hmm.
Hey.
This room. Look at this room.
What room?
Look at
It's
this
a
room.
wall.
And then I push the wall open.
Oh my god.
Ding ding,
Okay.
ding ding. You can all hear like the
Yeah.
very faint, like steel bell ringing again from upstairs, echoing
Stepping
throughout the
in and
warehouse.
seeing the paintings,
Hmm.
do I
Oh, yeah.
recognize
Yeah,
the
you're
paintings
like
themselves?
in a very sort of Sherlock-esque way. You kind of like lift one up, look at like two, number three, number four, and whether or not you share this information, you Alatar know that each painting depicts one grand city, and these are all very likely quite valuable. One of them is the city of Luskan, far to the north, Neverwinter, Silvery Moon, and in fact Baldur's Gate.
Who's Altar's looking at these?
Yeah.
Silvery Moon and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you know these places?
Yes, I've been to one of them, and
Can you
I've
tell
heard
me
of
about
all
them
of them.
sometime?
Do what?
Can you tell me about them sometime?
Alatar gives you like kind of turns his head and kind of a questioning look, and then is like, yeah, I mean, maybe we could go there sometime. And
And I'm sure I like shocked by lightning a little bit. Do you mean it?
well, yeah, why couldn't we go there? I've been to one of them, and we could. I mean, I've always been interested in these. There's libraries, some very interesting libraries in these places. I'm sure that we could find a way, but you know, these paintings are very valuable.
Libraries.
It's where
Really?
yeah, they are very, very valuable. In fact, and I turn it over and like big, like, here, help me with this, Dante, help me
I
out.
help.
Turn, and I want to look at the back, and I want to see how it's attached to the frame.
It's canvas stretched over a wood frame, and like each of one of them is kind of protect with this like leather wrapping, so you have to kind of like lift it out of that.
I mean, does it look like we could potentially extract the actual painting
Oh
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
roll it up?
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So like if you, yeah, it's
Hmm.
like tacked onto the wood frame on the back, like the canvas is folded over the frame.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want to have the surface area to deal with, you could
Yes.
probably, yeah, roll them up and sort of reframe them, I guess.
I mean, listen, they're beautiful paintings. They're worth a fuckload of money, and I'm not above just either taking these with us or at least like rolling them up and planting them somewhere and protecting them. They're very
Ooh.
valuable.
Ooh.
And at the very least, like, I mean, they're worth something.
I smack Altar. Yeah. Just. There's.
Ow!
Shush! Shush! I think someone's coming. We gotta. Can we hide these? Get out of here, like right now.
What do you mean someone's
Roll.
coming?
Someone's coming.
Roll.
I pull you in and I shut the door.
What?
I pull all of. I'm
Okay.
like, get in.
Oh my god.
Is there any other way
Including
out of here?
Rainier. Including Rainier. I pull all of you in. I just grab you by the shirts and I just kind of pull. I'm not very strong, so if you want to resist, by
I'm
all
not gonna
means.
resist.
And then I shut the door. I like put my head out and then I shut the door. I'm like, listen.
Oh, and then I cast minor illusion to like help seal the outside to make it look like
Yeah.
wall or like there's a box in front of it or something like.
All right. You do
There are
that.
people.
And at first, you think Altar is just being paranoid.
Schmidt.
You
Or sorry, Schmidt. Schmidt's being paranoid. My bad.
I'm
Wait.
listening at the door.
Yeah,
And
I would say like 5 minutes of
Yeah.
like anxiety.
Yeah, yeah, and like you're all kind of at that moment, like just in this slowly becoming way too warm room
Oh,
where you're looking at each other and like the looks grow from concern and evolve into like glares, probably towards
Can-
Schmidt. um, at, and then it's clear to you that you all maybe don't hear quite as well as he does, but like this very rhythmic sound of marching gets closer and closer and closer, and all told, you lose count of how many heavy feet are sort of stomping in unison on the ground, and you hear like the creaking noises of doors, and you hear like a shouting sound. You can hear like a very large piece of wood being just dropped and boom, like dropping on the ground. And I'd say probably Schmidt and Altar would remember like the very large barred warehouse doors and can guess that like the warehouse is being opened up. Um, you just hear shouting and murmuring, and it sounds like the commotion echoing throughout. It just sounds like the place is being like turned upside down. You hear dragging sounds, like maybe the bodies or some of the crates are being moved around. And this goes on and on for quite some time. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm like not moving, like almost standing in space, just like looking around wide-eyed, like.
I hold my shield to the door, and I just try and hold. If they put any pressure on it, I just hope to. That sound when you hit a hollow wall, I'm trying to just
Yeah.
like be
Dampen
that
it.
sturdy. Yeah. Well, then, I'm not smart enough to think about dampening. I'm just trying to be the sturdy part that's not gonna let it push
Okay.
in.
I begin to look around for like maybe an exit, like the floorboards, see if there's like a way out beneath us, like a drain or something.
Once I see Schmidt doing that, I look around as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose that's investigation, huh?
Yeah. Um. You, other than the secret wall, this room, considering the nature of what's stored here, seems very, very secure and very sturdy. Like the exterior walls feel very, very strong. But that being said, the second crate, the one that you all find less silver bars than one might have found earlier in it, with the corrosion and all, has a sort of like dampness and moldiness to some parts of the wood. And you notice that the wall to the northwest, despite the thickness, seems to have a lot of water damage. Yeah, roughly around there. And in terms of structural integrity,
Okay.
certainly appears to be the weakest link. That being said, anything involved with destroying that wall, I mean, you all instinctually would know would certainly involve some noise. And it sounds like
Can
there's
I?
a lot of activity still going on outside in the main warehouse.
I assume at some point I see the corrosion on the bars.
Yeah.
Can I take like a more detailed look at what that corrosion might actually be? Like, is it like a alchemical kind of substance that's running?
Yeah.
It's like corroding it, but like what? I feel like Alatar would have some kind of reference to potions
So,
or
I'm just gonna put this here.
Wait, do I know that Dante has a hammer?
I imagine it's still out, Dante. You correct me.
Yeah, I didn't put it away.
I point at it. Can we?
no, not yet.
Let's
Silver
see.
corrosion.
Hey, what if we prepared the I feel like we should take these paintings.
Oh, here we go.
Wait,
It looks
wait,
like this.
What? Shh.
Who do you
Sounds
think
like
is here?
the city guard is who I would guess. There's dead bodies.
It looks a lot like that black, almost like
Ooh.
corroded growth on there. So, Altar, like you, other than just like exposure to the elements, especially like moisture, it just seems like an oxidation likely.
Okay.
But that being said, you recognize that there's still some value in the raw materials, though likely significantly reduced. All told, there are still about 10 to 12 silver bars in this crate.
Dante, are you carrying, like, do you have a backpack or you have weapons and shit, right?
Oh yeah, they're tied all
Do,
over my
do
body
you
right
just
now.
they're just tied to your body?
Yeah.
Are any of us carrying like bags
I
of
mean,
any
most of
kind?
you have like
I've
basic
got backpack.
backpacks and pouches
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I take like 3 bars each and just set them in bags.
Bars? Oh, the silver
Yeah,
bars?
Silver
The
bars.
silver bars.
Oh yeah. Oh god. How heavy is that?
Let's see.
Probably like 5 pounds each.
Oh,
that
okay. So
light?
3 bars each?
I don't know how much that is. I don't know if it's silver bar.
One silver bar is about
Oh.
10 pounds.
Here's
Okay.
a quarter staff I found.
Oh,
Actually, it's 6.86 pounds.
Ooh.
I give
But this could
Give
be
sh-
different bars.
yeah. Yes,
I'm sorry.
10 pounds.
10 pounds.
I can add any sort of
Oh.
actionable thing like a quarter staff. I'll add that to your sheet for you, so you
I
can
can carry more.
all the stuff in there.
I mean, I would say we fill up if we can.
Okay.
We have the energy to.
Oh, you found a quarter staff. Nice.
yeah.
Okay. I can carry up to 7 silver bars.
Where do you see your weight?
And the inventory, bottom right.
Like what you can carry?
I
Yeah.
typed in silver bar and
Okay.
I made the weight
Oh,
10,
yeah.
and then I just started increasing the amount until it's up to
Yeah.
almost my max.
And how much is the silver bar? Sorry, I wasn't.
10 pounds
10
each.
pounds each. Yeah.
So,
Okey-dokey.
how much is everybody carrying? Because I'll
got
carry.
7.
You're at 7. Holy
I
shit!
can do 7, yeah.
I
It's
can
heavy.
carry.
Weight is 10, and I will have. How many did you say there were total?
I'm finding that out. 1 second.
Only 3 or 4.
I think you think there's at least about a dozen as you start kind of pulling them out. You don't. The count is being determined as we speak.
Ooh.
Is that
God,
the
it just keeps going.
Dante, check your messages.
Sorry.
in-game messages.
Hello. Oh yeah.
That's way too serious.
Can I talk to only GM? I can't remember how to do that. Whisper
You can
GM.
just right click
Okay,
on Watcher and whisper him, I think. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you get through it, and there's about 10 bars. So 10 silver bars plus you said you were also like rolling up some of the canvas. Noise outside is still like lots of just dragging like heavy furniture and moving kind of noises, and lots of
Okay.
just like murmuring with occasionally like one very clear loud voice shouting over the others.
It's the guards. I'm pretty sure. I am a little less interested in the silver bars and much more interested in the actual art, and so I would start taking each of those.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, there definitely requires like a delicate, appreciative touch to undo the framing and preserve, the pristine nature, because these
I would
paintings
like to
are in
be-
good shape.
very careful about doing that. In fact, I would try to get some help in the process of doing it, and I would
Yeah. Oh,
very slowly like peel off one little piece at a time, and then I would lay all 4 down
Okay.
on top of each other and roll it up.
Schmidt lends you some aid if you want to add a +2 to your modifier box, and then if you would,
Mm-hmm.
with the +2, with advantage since you're taking your time here, make a sleight of hand check, because it just requires a lot of delicate manipulation. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So while the silver bars are sort of being rifled through, and Rainier is like kind of occasionally like listening at the door, it's like, I do think it's the watch. I don't really want to deal with them right now or explain
No.
anything.
Yeah, no, don't. Just be quiet.
Let's just wait it out, maybe.
Might not be able to.
Alatar, you managed to kind of like work your way through 2 of the paintings. Your choice, which cities they are.
Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter.
Okay.
Nice.
You make your way through them, and like your fingers like start to hurt a little bit, and at this point it's still noisy out there. Rainier still pressing. You still feel like you have a little bit of time if you want to take an attempt at the other two.
No
Um,
favor room? Come on.
I mean, I've got two of them. We could do. I mean, we could do two more. My fingers hurt though. I hope that's not a problem.
I can help again. Yeah. I'll
okay.
help. I'll help. I'll help.
Okay.
Schmidt's trying to like
Oh,
hold them up
God.
for you, and
Just get tired.
it's
Getting
getting a
tired.
little, it's getting too cramped in this space almost. So you can make one another sleight of hand check. No advantage, no +2. But go
Oh
for it.
shit. Sleight of hand.
Yep. Looking for a 10 or higher.
No.
Woo!
Oh,
It
that +2,
gets
baby.
dicey, and maybe under the scrutinous eye of a very, very talented art collector, they might see some of the imperfections you caused in your disassembly of the thing. But for the most part, you're able to get the last two canvases
Still an
broken
original.
down and rolled up.
Oh.
Let me
Do I
just turn
see
this off
an
here.
artist's signature on these? Curious.
Uh,
Even looking at the back part of the canvas.
You do. You see a G and an S kind of like painted together, almost in like one shape. You don't really know
Okay.
what that means or who that represents.
Okay.
But you let me just fix something real quick here.
I love this music.
I added the paintings to your inventory there.
Okay.
And probably another 5 to 20 minutes pass after before you all finish your business, and it's just getting sweaty and cramped and really just inconvenient in here. And it starts to sound like the marching heavy footsteps begin to exit and leave this place.
Oh my god.
I wait another like hour, like until it is quiet and like
Oh my gosh.
a long time has passed since it has
Oh
been
my
quiet.
god.
Okay. Um,
I sit down, I pull out a book, and I read quietly.
I got dancing lights in here.
Rainier is just like constantly like sort of flipping open the locket and closing it again, and seems very ponderous about the thing. He's like, I can't believe this.
Actually, I also cast, if it's not loud, I don't know how loud it is. I cast frostbite in the corner quietly, like I maybe put like a blanket underneath it and just cast it, at least so it's cool. So like the air isn't quite as thick.
Ooh,
Okay, it's
refreshing.
definitely getting stuffy in here. Well,
Mm.
you all go through your little ticks and mannerisms.
Yep.
Hour after, it seems silent. Still seems silent.
All right, you want to peek?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Okay, let's do it. That counts as a short rest then,
Head
right?
right out.
Yeah.
Oh, and I cast arcane recovery on myself.
Let me give you that short rest. Okay.
Nice.
Dante, you're peeking out first.
I'm not even peeking.
Just I'm out.
I mean, I'm opening that door and then the ringing. And so
All right, the
I
ringing.
know door makes ringy.
Yep, the ringy goes and fires off again. Your muscles are kind of like tensing. Your adrenaline's probably at least internally a little bit high, and the place looks turned up, like just completely wrecked, destroyed, everything opened, even shit that you didn't get a chance to look at. The bodies you immediately notice are gone. All the
All the
doors
bodies.
are open.
Whoa.
And you don't see or hear anyone in the immediate vicinity, but instinctually you know that there's probably not too far from here, and maybe not too attentive at the moment, but there's probably still some city watch lingering in the vicinity.
Shit.
You've seen this situation
Mhm.
before in your time in the city.
I would
The rest of you, kind of
Tentatively.
hear the alarm die down and the door remains ajar.
My head pops out.
Rainier's kind of like pushing out in front of you. Says, I think it's clear now.
I mean,
We
is
didn't
there
talk
any
about
kind
it
of...
in there, but have you figured out that bird, or do you have some other idea on how we could find Floon?
During that time, based off of like the identify shit that I had cast earlier, I would have written something on the letter. And I probably would have consulted everyone if we can retcon that a little bit.
Oh, totally. And you would know that the way the magic works on this thing is that as long as you wrote something, even if it's just like a single line, the magic would be activated the moment that you said a name when channeling and focusing on the item.
So the way that I would prepare this, and do I know that it would immediately like take off? Is this like Harry Potter where it's like a little thing and it's
yeah, pretty much. I mean, like
snitch.
it's a few factors. One, you know that it requires some sort of ink on the paper's interior surface. You know that too. Once you sort of partially fold it back up again, you need to speak a name, and it almost like, I want to say transform, but not like in a ridiculous way, more like as if some unseen hand was folding the origami into the bird form. And like most of those creases were already there on the thing when you found it. But you know that the magic kind of takes over and it folds itself. And once that completes, you just focus and think and say the name aloud. And after a very short moment, only about like 10 or 15 seconds, the channeling completes and the thing takes off and begins flying towards that target, that creature.
On the letter I write Floon, we are friends. What's the name of the dude that sent us? Volo sent us to find you. Where are you?
He can respond to this?
No, but I'm just right. Oh, I don't know if he can. Maybe he can. But I write it.
You don't think so?
I start to fold it up and I tie a piece of string around the swan's neck.
Okay.
Knowing that this thing will take off, and so I hold on to this piece of string, and then as soon as the door opens and I've looked around and it's clear, I say Floon Blagmar.
Okay. And this is like so most of you guys have, just sort of like the bare bones starter items in your stuff. And actually, Alatar, you, on second thought, don't have one of the starter kits that included like 50 feet of hempen rope, which is a pretty common one. But Dante
I think I do.
definitely does. Schmidt definitely does.
I do, yeah.
I would have asked.
Yeah, okay.
You need rope? Yeah.
So you're using like the hempen rope to just sort of tie it on the thing?
Yeah. Or do I know if I cut it, would it break the enchantment?
The rope or the bird?
If I cut the piece of paper, like to feed it. Okay. Then I would just tie it around it.
Yeah, you would have to like physically tie it around the form. Any kind of
I would.
damage to the Okay. You do that, and the bird begins flying, and like it starts to like fly off, like almost like pretty quickly, like the wings are flitting, and it starts just flying for like the first open entrance, which is like this door to the south. But like it starts to like bog down with the rope, and it's almost like it's impaired, but still flying ahead. You're kind of like dragging down with like the weight of the rope on it every now and then, but it just keeps going. What do you want to do?
Can we follow it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. It was like I wanted to like point in a direction. And I want to keep it kind of close to my body, almost like a hound dog.
You grab on the other end of the rope?
Yeah. I'm holding it like, and I'm letting it like kind of point in a direction.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna go that way, and we start walking in that direction, and then whenever it changes, that's why I wanted to tie a rope around it.
All right. Yeah, you do that in like a tethered butterfly almost. This delicate thing um immediately starts kind of guiding you in various directions. And as
No
as you all
way.
leave the warehouse, you're all aware enough, especially after all the waiting, that you kind of clock that like certain portions of the city block about like a street or two away have more city watch kind of like hanging loitering around the corners and kind of like lingering about more so than you'd normally see in the city at some of these like smaller intersections. um, but despite that, like you immediately wrap around. Let me just pull my map here. Da-da-da-da. So you immediately wrap around almost back to. Let me push that city map out to you all. One moment, please.
As a side note,
Hmm.
it would probably be pretty weird to see like a little bird, a little paper bird, kind of flying.
Well, depends on the district, but there is a lot of weird shit in Waterdeep.
Okay.
Like Waterdeep, like you see, like there's literally giant, taller than the tallest wizard tower, like fucking inanimate statues of these huge creatures, these huge humanoid statues that like were once animated and moving around the city.
Okay.
And like they're now just like frozen in place and like to the point where like buildings have built up around them. And there's like weird constructs I mean it's there's certainly things like even that shit's weird, but it's not uncommon in Waterdeep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Um so
Okay.
Candle Lane, you kind of end up going back. Let me just clear all this. Back to the southeast where you had first entered from on this day. And as you go southeast, you come back to this intersection right here. And let me just dial in on that. And the thing starts like pulling you immediately back to the west to this sort of like dead end. But right in the middle of the dead end is a sewer grate that goes down, and it starts like flitting and like flying down into the metal covering that's like engraved with like some nice like cityscape on top of it, as most of the Waterdeep sewer entrances are.
Oh wow.
And like Dante, like you immediately see this thing, and the underworld of Xanathar
Hmm.
comes like punching back into the back of your brain.
I don't like the sounds of that.
And like
So
the paper bird at the end of the string just like keeps flying, and almost like a bird smacking into like the glass wall of
Yeah.
like a house or something. It just keeps flying against it to the point where like the wings start to become battered.
yeah, I pull it. I pull it
Yeah,
back a
grab
little
it.
bit so
But
it's
you have
not
to
like
like
damaging. I'm not very strong.
you
at
back up
this.
enough to the east that the thing's still airborne and trying to fly towards that sewer
It's
grate.
it's like a wild magical fish.
Yeah, I help you. I help you.
Help him.
Yeah.
I was watching it first in magnificence.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not helping.
Well,
With
I think you're stronger than I am.
with advantage, Dante, you could I'd like you to actually make an insight check.
An insight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Can you shut it off?
I think once you say the name, it's pretty much like you said the name. It's gotta go,
Oh,
go.
no.
But it's
Oh,
okay, it's okay, it's okay,
no.
it's okay. We just pulled it back a little bit. It's not gonna damage itself, I don't think, unless it keeps pulling this stupid fucking. Advantage though.
Give me one more for the advantage.
yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
baby.
Yes.
Thanks,
Um,
advantage.
so you've been with these guys a short while now. They all have their more proper way of going about things and figuring things out. You just know, based on the Kenku, based on the fact that there wasn't a body at the scene, and based on the fact that this wizard guy with you, who magically said Floon's name and says this is leading you to him. I mean, like, fuck, you've been on numerous jobs before where everything used the sewer passageways beneath the belly of this city. You know that the Xanathar Guild members are quite fond of using them. And they do so in a way, it's kind of like thieves' cant, but it's not, like where they temporarily mark the very labyrinth-like passageways, because it's so easy to get lost down there. But they mark them in such a way to confuse others. And you're not super well versed in this, but you know enough to at least identify and where to look for these markings to help guide you. And should you share this information, you're fairly certain that the Xanathar members likely left that warehouse and headed back to one of like the many sort of I call them outposts, but it's almost like a temporary like drop house, like where Xanathar members like will hole up for a certain period of time, but they never use the same space for long. You feel confident enough that you could at least roughly or crudely make your way through the sewers, or at least point out the things that could help you all make your way down there.
Information relayed.
Okay.
Oh, symbols. What do you mean they're deceptive? That's kind of interesting. This thing is fucking. It's just.
Raynier's kind of looking at you on, just like, I don't really want to go down there, but we looked, there was no Floon in the warehouse, so I'm with you.
Down there.
I think we should just go down so I can let go of this.
I open the grate.
Yeah, make a strength check, Schmidt.
Oh god.
I'm helping him now. I got one hand on the goddamn kite, and I got one hand on the thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you
Man.
see Schmidt's not having. He's struggling with it a little bit. I don't know if you want to jump in
Dante,
there.
ooh,
Okay, yeah.
your muscles are.
What do I give him?
Just do a strength check.
Okay, yeah.
Dante, did you know the mind is the muscle of the body?
Oh
my God.
Jesus.
And I just I flipped the grate.
You just flip the grate, and like Schmidt's still holding onto it, actually gets airborne for like just a moment. And like this smell just kind of comes wafting up from there, and like the bird starts like dragging, like almost like you're like holding, like you're on water skis, like starts pulling you towards the open passageway.
Guys, help me.
Yeah.
Just hold on. Just hold on.
I was still holding on to that too. My nat 20 is helping both of you.
Oh yeah, like
Right?
yeah. Basically, you let Alatar almost like as if like you're like smiling through it all. Like you let Alatar, the bird goes down, but Alatar like skids up to the very edge of the entrance,
Like
and
the
like
heels.
yeah, you're just holding like the sewer, this big heavy hunk of metal up in the air in one hand, and like you just like hold Alatar at the last possible moment, right at the edge of the stank fucking sewer entrance with the ladder rungs going down below.
Altar, how tall are you?
6'2".
So I'm like 4'9", and I got my hand on your belly button, pretty much, stopping you from moving.
I have a moment where like I'm like literally looking down at you holding onto this rope, and I do, why don't you hold the rope? And I just kind of like funnel it like fully into your hand, and then I just kind of like let go and be like, wow.
Do I even want this thing anymore? What is this thing?
No. It's like
I don't know if
Do you know dogs? You know dogs? Yeah.
Yes.
They're tracking dogs, right? This is like a magical tracking dog. So it's there to find Floon. Who's going to pay us money? Money?
Yes.
Yes.
I do know money.
And that will take you to Floon, who will give us money.
I don't know. I tie
No?
it to the nearest. What am I next to?
No. You have to hold it.
Alright. I'm
Tie
looking
it
at
to your
someone-
belt.
Yeah.
Or I can hold it.
I tied it to my belt.
Okay. So like
Don't worry, it's not gonna take me anywhere.
is just clearly at this point like a putrid stench coming up, but you managed to tie the thing there. Are you? How are you proceeding? Like Rainier is just like, "Ah, let's get this over with.
Get it down.
I look
I
nauseous.
want to poke my head down there, and then I cast dancing lights, and I send a trail
Okay.
of lights
Okay.
down into the sewer.
It's
Is there a ladder?
There's a ladder. It's easy enough going. Just other than the smell. But you go down, about 30 feet down, and then eventually you get into a sewer structure, which is kind of like you imagine what I would think of like for some like old European city, where like like on the sides there's like cobblestone walkways above, but like in the center is just like a stream of putrid
Yeah.
liquids and just ugh flowing through. And it right now the passageways lead in two directions. You're not sure heads or tails, but it's just like literally like you climb down and it's like a T intersection. You could go one way or the other.
Which way?
Is-
Which way?
Which way is the bird thing pulling?
The bird thing is pulling you all to the north right now. If you looked at it on like the world map, so to speak, that'd be kind of
Yeah.
that way.
I want to be clear. I'm the last one to go down the ladder. I have like officially stashed and locked like the books and the little like leather pouch that I have them in inside my vest pocket, and I'm like, last time I'll smell fresh air. Go down.
Okay. And in terms of the sewer grate covering, which is just like a manhole cover kind of, are you leaving it open or are you closing it in behind you?
How far away did it get thrown?
Yeah. That's right. Dante threw it, so
Yeah.
I'll leave it.
I don't know if it's that far, but yeah, I mean, like maybe like.
I mean,
eight
I
feet
would
away,
make an
maybe.
attempt to drag it. I really would. I actually make an attempt, but depending on how heavy it is going to be how quickly I drop it.
You can make a strength check.
Oh, good.
Let's say 15 or higher. You had no problem.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I try to lift it up. And
How
I
many is
immediately-
that?
I just immediately am like,
Yeah. No.
it's slippery, and you're like, nah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like pull my back a little bit. I'm like, oh, just fuck. Just leave it. It's not worth it. And I just go over and go down.
Okay.
Oh.
One second.
Rainer. Hey, Jim Rainer, can you just fucking put the great thing, whatever. I just go down.
It's fine.
All right. Everyone's kind of like gagging and coughing a bit, but as
Yeah.
terrible as it is, you start to get at least acclimated enough that it's not it's not debilitating. It's certainly not enjoyable. And it's you're following the bird, and as you do so,
As we're walking, I'm looking for any more symbols or signs that I'm accustomed to or I know.
as like the bird kind of takes you, like you probably go through a few intersections like here and there, and a lot of them you're looking, Dante, and you don't kind of see what you're looking for, but eventually the bird kind of flits its way to this sort of like Y-shape intersection, and you see a very familiar symbol, one that you've seen maybe some of you
Hmm.
like tattoos.
Mhm.
And you see it's just like a crude version of this with like yellow chalk smudged in the wall. And as you sort of like hone in on it, like the bird's kind of going. But this is sort of like for you more so than just like this mage's weird magic and paper bird, a reassuring sign that you're heading towards like a Xanathar outpost.
Oh,
Um,
d- do we still have the tattoos?
I mean, at this point, they're
Smudged
probably
shit, right?
pretty smudged to shit. Yeah,
Do
there's
we
ink.
would Alatar remember like if it like I would purposely, hey, smudge your tattoos, make sure that shit is not visible on your arm, and
Oh,
Um,
then I look around and I say, but maybe we could draw this symbol in the same way.
was it? Oh, the Xanathar symbol.
Yeah, we could do the
Oh,
exact same thing.
yeah,
If we're going somewhere, we should totally do that.
yeah.
Do I remember where the tattoos are generally placed, like on the back or on?
You've seen it all over. Like that one guy had him on his bald head. He had like eye like symbols. Um, some of the other ones had them on like the back of their hand.
Yep,
Some on
I
their
make it
chest.
classy.
And some like you were pretty sure they were Xanathar, but you didn't see a tattoo at all. Maybe
I
it was
do
somewhere else altogether.
one here for me, one on the back of the hand for Schmidt,
Yeah.
for the other
Ooh.
guy, what's it, Rainer, um, I do it on the inside of his forearm, and I look at Dante and I'm like, how about here, just turn your head like this, and I put one right here on his neck.
All up in you.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
just hold still. This will tickle, maybe. I don't think it'll hurt. And I put that symbol on his
Do it.
neck.
Yeah, I'll let it happen.
That
Okay.
looks so cool. Why didn't I get a neck one?
Trust me, it's okay.
He gets the cool one.
Okay. Um, you all continue on, I think, with the combination of the magical origami bird leading you. You don't have the hardest time, and like probably about an hour and a half passes, and every now and then you come across like another smudged chalk symbol, and whether or not Dante points it out, like it's there's enough of them at this stage that you all recognize the pattern where it's like a very subtle thing where one of the eye stalk shapes seems to indicate like which way to go at like an intersection. Um, and you carry on, and eventually you come upon an intersection, and there is some sort of like shadowy floating thing in the distance that gives you all a moment of pause. Um, you sense some kind of movement up ahead. You're not sure exactly what it is. The bird is still trying to fly straight ahead towards this intersection. It's another Y-shaped intersection up ahead from what you can tell. And let me just push something to you all. One moment. And here we go.
But yeah, I also cast Mage Armor on myself earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So yeah, just to be clear, one thing why that was fucked up last time that I didn't realize is Mage Armor can be cast on a number of targets.
Yep.
And
Wait,
because of that,
really?
yeah, so like because of that, you have to actually drop the effect thing on yourself.
Mm-hmm. We didn't
So
actually have.
I've done that now, and Alatar, you
Okay.
have it. I was compensating in the rolls last
Sorry about
time
that.
for you, but like now with it applied, I shouldn't have to do that at all.
Okay.
Can you cast Mage Armor on me too?
I mean, I could, but that would limit my scope of things that I could do.
Oh,
I don't think
it's not free.
No,
I don't
it's a
think
level
it's
1.
Sounds
concentration.
a hefty fucking fee, you know.
It's not
Oh.
concentration. That's true.
Well, I thought it was free. Never mind.
No,
It's okay.
but if you need it, I mean, I suppose it could be helpful.
I might. I don't know yet.
Okay.
So, Bird's trying to pull you all forward quite a bit. Doing whatever you're doing. You're not sure what exactly it is, but there's definitely something lurking up ahead in the distance.
What is that?
I keep moving towards it.
Yeah, I got dancing lights ready to go. Well, I mean, already out. It's trailing.
Quietly.
I
Yeah.
am not very quiet. I mean, I can try and roll with those.
Wait. Before we go forward, do we remember what any of the people look like? Is it worthwhile to disguise self as a kinku or some kind of something?
Oh. Nah.
No? Okay. And why? What? Just to be clear, we should tell them, just to be all on the same page, that we just came Zentarum, whatever the fuck that place, warehouse.
Yeah.
And there are guards everywhere, and we immediately came down here because we were concerned we'd be found. Yeah?
Yes.
Something like that? Okay.
Yes, we are Xanathar running away from the guards.
Yes.
Yes.
Xanathar running away.
Sounds about right.
So you
Yeah.
guys are
Dante?
kind of like
Yes.
mumbling through your
Xanathar?
plan.
Yeah.
You see Dante continue to
Running
kind of like
away.
just try like, and there's no walkway in this section. Like the birds led you through like a slushy, grotesque stream, and Dante's just like charging ahead slowly but surely towards some of like the side paved panels that have like just small rusted steel rung ladders that help you step out of them. It's about like 2 feet above the water surface. Dante, being short, is probably almost up to his thighs in the sewer muck right now. And as you do so, Dante, you're the first to really spot like the thing that's been kind of like giving you all like
Lurching.
this sense of like what the fuck. And you see this floating grapefruit-sized creature up ahead, just kind of like freeze and like rotate and just. And it's like. And, like you just little maw is like gaping and like twisting towards you and just starts floating towards you. And this small little freaky fucking thing, you know, is
I pulled my
one-
shield out.
Yeah, like roll initiative, everyone, but you in particular, Dante, know that this is.
What were we saying?
Yeah, you almost half expected this. This like Xanathar Guild used these little fucking gazers as little sentries all throughout the city, but especially down in the sewers. And like you didn't want to say the thing, but you expected the thing. And these little fucking bastards are not the beefiest of things, but they have a few tricks up their sleeves, and you know to be mindful of the eye stalks.
Nice.
That being said,
Okay.
with your natural fucking 20, give me 1 second here to bump your crazy ass up there and have Rainier roll.
So the natural 20 on initiative is just a wasted 20.
Well, I mean, in fact, this small gazer creature would have gone before you. But because you have a natural 20, you immediately just go to the top of the initiative order. So that's something. And you're there and you see it, and it kind of like floats out right in front of you up here if you zoom out on the map.
That's so many away.
What is that?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just pulling my shield out and taking point, moving forward towards it. shield deployed or shield ready, and if it with that being said, I have my longsword and longsword. What do I have? What is it called? Yeah, I'm a longsword in hand behind the shield, and if he gets anywhere in my front area here, I hope to have an action, a planned action, or whatever, held action.
Held action. Okay.
Nice.
So you're just kind of like holding the line and melee attacking if it comes closer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. You hold there, and the little fucking thing starts flying towards you. Like it's just kind of like hissing with this like drooling open maw, and it flies about 30 feet and stops like right at the edge of the Y intersection. And give me one moment. Okay. All right, you see, and I'd say probably Alatar and Schmidt sort of recognize this, but like the one of the eye stalks illuminates a little bit, and like a frosty form kind of comes bursting out of the eye.
Oh.
And actually, sorry, I should not have rolled that for you.
Yeah,
That works. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Yeah. Okay.
little bit better.
You just fucking like sidestep through the slush, and dodge this thing. Immediately, one of the other eye stalks begins to illuminate with like this dark, almost like negative energy. And I need you to make one more saving throw, Dante. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god. No.
It connects with you, and you, like, all of your trepidations about coming back here seem to be manifesting in the back of your mind, and you just completely feel the terror and fear you felt as a boy down in the fighting pits here, and everything about kind of coming back to this place is too much for you in this moment, and you don't know what's going on, but you just feel this paralysis, like you have to move away from this thing. And basically you're feared right now. Give me 1 second, because it's been a while since we dealt with frightened effects. I'm just going to refresh my brain. Frightened. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of your fear is in line of sight. You cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear. So like you're just paralyzed right now at this thing, and like your body's like quivering and shaking. To everyone else, it looks like you're just kind of holding the line still. But
so how do I? I don't even know how to get out of that.
Let me double check. His fear is. You don't know. I'll let you know. But right now, like you're just stuck in this sort of like memory of paralysis. Altar, it looks like he's sort of like quivering a bit, but you just see Dante up ahead, kind of holding the line, and you saw like this creature fire 2 eye stalks with these like strange magical rays. One of them seemingly hitting Dante.
Yeah, I run up, but I try to keep Dante between me and the mini beholder, because I know what this fucking shit is.
Big shield.
I've read about them. I'm not happy about it. I don't like gazers. And I peek over his shoulder and I cast frostbite on this thing.
He succeeds in his saving throw.
I think he He still takes damage though, doesn't he? Or is
So
it just negated
frostbite.
effect? I don't remember.
On a failed save.
On a failed
No.
save, the target takes 1d6 cold damage.
This was not a failed save.
Oh.
There's no other effect on that. It was just frostbite, right?
Yep. I just do. Shit.
So you immediately counter its frost ray with some form of your own, and neither have any effect, his or
Yeah.
yours.
I imagine it like just shoots wide of it, just
Floats
barely.
out of the way a little bit, yeah.
And I duck back behind where Dante is, and I crouch down to try to get a little bit of cover.
Okay. Rainier has... Oh boy. And like he just kind of goes like charging forward and sort of not goes past Dante, but like goes out there and says, "We're doing this, right? We're doing this." And you hear him, Dante, but you cannot reply even if you wanted to at the moment. And he's got like rapier and dagger out right now, and he's just like trying to be brave adjacent to you at the moment. Schmidt, what are you doing?
Oh god. Okay, how much? 75. I stay. No. I move up.
Okay.
I get up to here, so I'm out of the muck.
Okay.
And then I shoot. Also, I give myself advantage for this.
All right.
For the tides of chaos. Oh yeah, how do I do? Wait, 1 sec. How do I? No, I didn't mean to do that.
You can just fire it again.
I'll roll again.
And then 17.
Fuck, that's loud.
Does
that hit?
Hit? Yep.
17. Yes. All right. Firebolt.
Ooh.
Oh!
Like you just
Nice.
see, Alatar, you see Schmidt kind of like arm over arm, like crawl and pull himself out of like the thick mud, like sludge stench onto like the dry ground, and like he just as he's rising up, like this bolt of fire just comes conjuring out from his fury, and sends like the small floating eye like reeling backwards. In this moment, Dante, like you find yourself shaken free of the fear and everything that like all of the memories, the terrible torture, everything just kind of like washes away in a moment and just turns into rage, and you see this thing sort of like off guard.
I literally turn to Schmidt and I'm like, oh, I should learn that. That was real nice.
I run right at this thing as hard as I can when I come to, and I just run at it, and I just over a slash overhand diagonal across its face. I don't know if you can see my line across its face right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm actually aiming for a couple of these fucking spuds. All right. Let's see. This one, this guy. Oh, it's not great.
You swing and miss. Like it's just this floating, hovering thing that's like recoiling away, and like you're still partially enraged, and just kind of like slashing and moving around the thing, and the moving target's just too much with all of the combined things going on.
I move around him, shield out, still keeping him engaged.
Okay.
In melee range.
Locking him into melee range. It sort of like, and like you just see the maw, like the stalks almost appear dormant for a moment. And so like it chooses to bite at you, trying to like swing around the shield and just like chomp at you right now, and you're blocking and just sort of like boxing out against the thing. Altar, what are you doing?
Yeah, I began muttering a chant, and I cast this.
You seem to reach into its mind. The creature fails.
Oh yes.
And like Alatar, like as you kind of reach into its mind, you see the thing just biting at Dante's shield, and he's just like blocking and boxing him out. And then all of a sudden, the thing just like drops against the shield surface and just kind of like rolls end over end and drops down into the muck of the sewer below. Dante, whether you choose to share this or not, like you know that this thing was a sentry posted somewhere near a Xanathar outpost, and that you must be quite close. I don't know if you managed to hold on to the bird during this. Who was holding it?
Dante was.
Dante was. I'd like to think that during your frightened moment, you absolutely lost your grip on that thing. And the last thing you saw, all of you collectively, was like that rope just skimming and the water surface as it went northwest somewhere off in the distance. That being said, Dante, you certainly followed the chalk symbols enough at this point to realize that there's one right near the ladder on the wall there, also indicating that likely not too far northwest of here is the hideout.
I relay all these things.
Okay.
I mean, we know that
Rain
Gazers
hoists
don't
out of the muck onto the dry
have
land.
pockets, right?
You do know that. Why don't
Yeah.
actually? I'd say, Dante, you just know that Xanathar uses them like little sentries. Alatar and Schmidt, two of you can make an Arcana check.
I'm no good at that.
Okay, Alatar. Oh yeah, okay. So you've read about gazers. You know about them a bit. And give me 1 second. Essentially,
Wait, I should know about. Nah, I don't.
essentially, you don't. Whether or not you believe this to be true, you've read that a gazer is a tiny manifestation of a beholder's dream.
Mm-hmm.
It resembles the beholder who dreamed it into existence, but its body is tiny, like you've seen here, only about 8 inches wide and grapefruit sized, and it only has 4 eye stalks. You do believe that the beholder, if it's tuned into them, could, if it wanted to, see through the gazer's eyes and use it to spy on enemies as well as other creatures. But it would also greatly depend on how many dream manifestations it has created to this point.
Does it? Would I know if it detects like when one is like active? Like I assume they're kind of like.
You don't know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Schmidt walks up to me, I reach into my pouch and I say, "Well, I suppose this couldn't hurt." And I pulled out a piece of cured leather and I slap it against his chest.
No.
And I cast.
No.
It's too late. I cast Mage Armor.
On Schmidt?
No.
Oh, there you go. You'll notice that it was effective because it adds that little icon on your token.
Oh.
See that?
So that will probably help you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I owe you one.
Sure.
I really do.
I hope you don't, but it's fine. I saw you use it before, so I hope it helps.
Rainier kind of brushes past you all and is sort of watching Dante and says, "You've seen those symbols. Do you know how to get us the rest of the way there?"
I could probably figure it out. Of course I can figure it out, but I don't really know if I can. But I blindly have faith in my own self.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't. This is a silly question. Rainier, I don't suppose you have any health potions on your person after being tortured?
You see him kind of like feeling about his blue vestments, and he does still have like a small pouch on the inside of his jacket. He says, I haven't checked, but I do potentially. and he like feels around, and let's just say if he rolls a 51 or higher, he does in fact actually have 2 small health potions. He says, "Well, I'm glad they didn't find this," and he sort of opens like the vest up, and you see like this sort of concealed, stitched inner pocket, and he taps it and he says, "I've been known to get into a thing or two and keep these in case of emergency." He says, "Here." He looks over across the stream at Dante and says, "You should probably have one of these if you're gonna keep doing that." And he looks back to like where you were frozen and shielding everyone. And he goes and just like carelessly, like tossing a delicate egg, throws the glass vial across the stream towards you, Dante. You, with advantage, could make an athletics check right now.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
That'd be great.
Let me hit this add button. Check, you say?
Yeah, you just click that ADV thing.
Athletics, you say, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, best athletics check.
Oh yeah, like, and you just sort of like lean over and cradle the baby, and hold up a regular healing potion in your hand. And he tosses it and doesn't even like watch to see what happens. And he turns back to the two of you. He's like, "One of you may take the other, but unfortunately I do only have one more. Any preference?"
I look at him in a way that's like you would depart with your own health potion, but I mean, I'll take it. Sure.
He kind of like turns to you and says, "Keep it safe."
Yes.
I've heard you call each other by name, but perhaps before we take another step forward, we should properly introduce ourselves. Again, he like does that like deep bow. "I am Rainier Neverember, but you have not told me your true names," and you kind of like feel him doing a little bit of a callback to the paper crane moment.
I bow to him and I say, I just say, "Be pleased," as like a gesture of Waterdeep, and I say, "My name is Alatar El Torcho. Well, I don't want to get into my family, but suffice it to say, I can understand your predicament. It's nice to meet you."
Thank you. Keep that potion safe, Alatar. And he like he turns towards Schmidt.
Ha. Well, I'm Schmidt, and I give him like a half-assed version of a very real noble bow.
Okay, all right. You kind of like you see like a look in his eye, like he recognizes that you, if you wanted to. Like
yeah.
He gets that you could probably do it right, and he just sort of like smiles at you, like in that you get a very strong sense that there's a sort of simpatico thing going on here, where like you're both these reluctant sort of noble types.
Yeah.
And he just sort of like chuckles and says, "It was very nice to meet you." And he says, they call you Dante.
Yes. That's my name.
Your shield is appreciated. And he just smiles and starts walking on the opposite side of you. You kind of like, you can tell he's like eyeing a moment and like realizes that there's really no way that you're not all getting back into the fucking muck as you head northwest, towards where the paper crane flew off to.
I mean,
and then we lost the crane. It already flew away.
Yeah, like when Dante got frightened, he
Shit.
lost his grip on it and it just flew off to the northwest.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I would say that as Rainier walks forward, I'm walking beside Schmidt, and I'm like, I mean, this is shit, right? Like, this is actual shit, right?
It's better if you call it gray water.
I believe the proper term is black water. God. And as I say that, I put a boot down into the water. Ha ha ha.
Oh, it's not exactly cold, is it?
Oh,
It's a little warm in spots.
I take a full moment to gag.
Okay. Then gag as you might, you all continue heading on, following Dante's lead, up the sewer here. Rainier, is definitely like, a well-built young man,
Sorry, I had to help.
in good shape. And he, while not taking the charge on the front line, he's not too far behind Dante and is clearly trying to position himself between you all and Dante as a sort of like a second line. Like sword and rapier drawn the whole time. You don't get that he's putting on airs. Like you feel like just in the way that he's handling his blade and everything like that, that he's definitely had some kind of training, like he suggested. And you all continue on. Dante, you have no trouble following the symbols at this point. You feel like, like the breadcrumbs are getting near the end of the line here. And eventually, the passageway never picks up again to this, where you get the sewage, like the dry walkways on the side. And like all the while you're trying to avoid like just gross things down below, doing your best to steer the team. And eventually you get to a passageway that you feel in your guts is just basically the last stretch that goes right into the heart of some kind of outpost. And let me just go ahead and click a couple things.
Follow me this way.
I
My
would.
guts tell me.
I want to lean in towards Smith and be like, do you feel like you know this Dante somewhere? He seems so familiar, maybe.
Dante?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a...
What does
No.
he?
Maybe?
No?
I don't know. He's a type, right?
Is he a type? I feel like I've seen him before. Have you seen him before?
I've seen guys like him before.
But have you seen him before? I feel like
Maybe? I don't know.
As we get closer, who have we seen before?
you.
Oh. You? Have we met?
I feel like I'd notice you, or
I don't think we've ever met.
well, we have been hanging out for like 48 hours.
Before we met, like, then.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But that was the time we met.
what do you do stuff around the city?
Jobs, odds and ends.
I feel like I've seen you. Maybe.
What do you do around the city?
Oh, you don't want to know. Are we close?
I want to know.
Well, I'll tell you. But not now. You have to survive first.
No promises.
While a lot of them look the same to you, Dante, it's been quite a while since you've been down here, and it's pretty far off to the west right now. But there is like no other way in, no other way out. This is a classic Xanathar Guild outpost where some old delinquent part of this undercity is often like reappropriated by members of the guild as like a safe house, an outpost, interrogation, what have you. And you can see far off to the west, there is a sort of circular hub of the passageways, and you feel pretty strongly that around that circular hub is where some of these little rooms and hideouts begin to take form. So, depending on what you want to do, you feel pretty strongly that the hideout's not too far up ahead.
I feel like the hideout's not too far ahead.
Okay.
Are we ready to continue?
Wait. Can we disguise anything? And can we
Oh.
approach as friends? We've got like the shit, right? Like we've got
Yeah.
the tattoos and shit. Like hey, Dante, do you
We'll be fine.
what do you know things about the Xanathar? Should you look like someone important? Are you
We should just
Actually-
look. Well,
are you important?
I don't know if I
Are
would
you
say
important?
that. I don't know about that yet. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Should
Um,
we can
Hold on.
disguise ourselves is all I'm saying if we need to. Should we? Or should we just go and pretend
Nah.
we're friends?
We should do it and pretend we're friends. We've got
Oh.
this sweet ass markup that you gave us. Let's do it.
Okay. And maybe we actually are friends. I don't know.
I mean, we're friends.
Well, we're friends. Yeah. Friends with the guild here. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
what is our goal here?
Well, we have to get back Floon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our whole purpose here, so we can get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, and his name's Floon, not Foon. But
You know what?
yeah.
Oops.
Just in case, I could disguise myself as a Kenku.
Maybe that's a good idea. It would at least bring some legitimacy to our little enterprise. But do Kenku travel only do they travel in groups, in pairs?
Oh, I don't know.
What if we were both Kenku?
Then half of us will be Kenku.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth me spending
Okay.
that. You just
You're all
rock on.
kind of like
Just keep
Fucking-
talking back and forth as you slowly
Yeah.
make your way through the muck
Stretch,
and head on
stretch,
the
stretch.
only way west right now.
I feel
Yeah.
like we should probably keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just keep going.
I'm moving forward.
Okay.
I'm
I
just.
moved you forward.
I'm moving really steady.
but I
Uh,
moved you forward really far.
Real fire. Okay.
Yeah. So steady.
I would say I'm like 15 feet behind you.
Eventually, you get up
Yeah.
to the thing that Dante kind of clocked from afar, which is this this sort of central hub. And I think Dante instinctively, it's fair to say that you would sort of pause as this thing opens up in the hub. You've never been here before, but you're not that unfamiliar with why this is an appealing thing for the Xanathar. And the reason is, if I just sort of open up a little bit more of this, a lot of these old structures have a lot of common themes, which is you see some rooms, some doors locked off. You see some passageways both north and south in this sort of circular crossway. But then you also see in the corners, both here and here, arrow slits built into the walls that open up into some kind of rooms, guard rooms, typically watches on either side, which Xanathar guild members love using to kind of be the sort of first point of entry into any of their sort of undercity establishments.
I ready an action
Okay.
to cast minor illusion of just a plank in front of that arrow slit, so they can't see out of it.
Fucking like Naruto ninja lock.
It's just a board. My best friend Plank.
You're ready in action to cast it, but you haven't cast it yet,
But
right?
I have to be within 30 feet.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like as we get closer. Oh
Okay.
shit! I have to be. Let's see. I have to be this far away to do. Okay, so if I get up to here, I can cast it on this guy.
Yeah, and like again, just
There
to
we
be
go.
very clear, like this thing in the center is literally
Yeah.
like a pillar that goes all the way up to the roof
Okay,
structure.
good.
So I mean, in itself, depending on where you position, there's some level
That's
of cover
true.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
And again, like this passageway goes north quite a bit, goes south quite a bit, until you
I might have
reach
to
your
go help
pivot.
my wife with baby.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No.
worries.
I think,
Totally okay.
you know,
No worries.
considering the
This
time
may be a good time.
and the place, you all creep upon the central hub, and you know, with Dante sort of feeding you some intel all along this way, you all know with some certainty that you are in the heart of some sort of Xanathar hideout. It's a great place to pick up next episode on.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
guys. She's been sick lately, and so I
Yeah.
hear her crying.
No worries, man.
Whoever looks through the arrow hole sees that.
Okay.
Can't wait. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a lot of actions prepared and thought about in your mind. We'll see where they go next time on.
Hell yeah.
Did we make level 2? Are we level 2 yet?
Almost.
Did we do it?
Almost.
I mean, we did a lot of
I think
things
it's you did
today.
you totally did. I think it's pretty fair to say that once you get out of this place, assuming you do some things, you'll be level 2.
Okay. All right.
Not quite yet.
Dangle that carrot.
Not quite yet. If you make it out of here alive, though.
Oh god.
I would love to
Actually,
be able to do
on
more
that
than.
note, let me
Yeah, more than one spell.
let me go ahead and move those health potions Rainer gave you over. Hold on.
Oh yeah, who did he give them to?
He gave one to
To-
Dante and one to Alatar.
Okay, good.
I give you a knowing look, like, don't worry. I got you.
Wait,
Yeah, I will say
you did give me the mage armor.
which lasts for 8 hours and is still
Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very
true.
active.
And oh yeah.
You were like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
I was
Too late.
counting on casting it on myself, so that
Too
way I
late.
can. Yeah.
Does anybody need armor? Speaking of which, I have some.
I can't use.
I
I'm
mean,
not
I
proficient.
can't. Yeah, I'm not proficient either. But yeah, I love armor.
I love armor.
I
How
just,
do you use
you
this?
know, I
It's the
admire it.
greatest.
What about cloaks?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
I picked one up. I definitely picked one up, and I'm wearing it.
I did
Okay.
not pick
And
one
then
up.
I did.
It's a Zentarum
I
cloak,
picked up
right?
3.
Wait,
So
wait.
for-
It's a Xanathan.
Is this Zentarum
For
or
like
is it
more
Xanathar?
incidental stuff like that, I'm gonna rely on you guys to just kind of like write it in your inventory.
It's a Centaurum.
It said
Oh,
hooded cloak
so-
from Xanathar warehouse.
We don't
No,
want to
Zentarum.
wear the
Zentarum
Zentarum.
warehouse.
So it's all snake stuff.
I can appreciate
Oh,
the
just-
confusion.
We
I
do
picked
not
up-
want to wear that.
Well,
Oh.
not here.
I should take
But
this
maybe-
off then.
Yes.
At a later time, at a snake time, at a place when we're at another hideout. Maybe.
Yeah.
Alright,
I
I'll
want to
take it
grab your arm and be like, you move the, that's a snake. This is not the snake.
Oh right, yeah.
I give you
Older
each
people.
one shirt.
Ooh, a shirt.
Okay.
It is a snake shirt that is a Zentarum with a Zentarum emblem going down through and going down the chest. But
Alright,
it's
I'm
very
gonna
good in
add it.
handy.
Nice.
I'm gonna
And
add a
then-
snake shirt.
I give you all a snake shirt, so I have 2 still.
Snake shirt.
Where did I put the other ones? Oh yeah, and then a cloak. You need a cloak, right?
Yes.
Okay, I give you a hooded cloak. Is this one have an emblem on it?
So
just said
there
a
were
dark-coated cloak.
there were a bunch of like just dark cloth cloaks in the warehouse crates. There
Yeah.
were 2 sort of like hood cloak in one combinations that you got off the Kenku Xanathar people as well.
Oh
Okay.
shit! You have Xanathar cloaks.
Robes. Perfect.
We should definitely. Well, I don't know who you're passing it out to, but
How,
we can-
I didn't even write a number for that one. I wrote 3 for the other one. So can I just say 3?
For the hooded cloak combo that you got off the Kenku creatures, there
Yeah.
were only 2 of them.
2. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2 that you would end up killing. The other 2.
I mean,
escaped.
you and Rainer take it.
Okay.
We could become Kenku and then wear those cloaks.
Yeah. Well, if they wear those cloaks, we could fake wearing those cloaks as Kenku.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, dudes. I gotta run.
All right.
But tell me what to do
Yeah,
with those cloaks. That's everything I have.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Rainer use them.
Okay.
Alright,
Hell yeah.
We will pick up next time on right on the outskirts of the
Cool. Infinity, I have some-
Zanzibar sewer hideout.
I'll have some questions for you tomorrow. We can maybe
Yeah,
catch
no
up.
worries. Yeah, just hit me up.
Thanks, bud. See you guys.
GG's, boys.
Yeah. Thanks again, Fitty. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
where
it's fun.
this
Yeah.
goes.
And Fiddy, I sent you a note earlier about things,
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
just so
shit,
you're
yeah.
aware.
Okay, cool. Good to know. All right, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, if
Yep.
ever I don't respond to a thing because I'm doing
You're
100
right in
things,
the middle of it. Yep.
just say something out loud so I know to check it, and that's fine. We all know that will happen at some point.
That was just a.
Yeah, that's a fine thing for later.
Yep.
That's good. Perfect.
All right, dudes.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome, dudes. See
Have a
you
good
later.
night. Laters.